You're watching FanDuel Sports Network, the home of the Brewers and Bucks.
The eve of baseball's return to Milwaukee. The calm before the storm.
That's your ball game! This team, I mean, they are resilient.
As we embark on the Brewers' 57th season, we remember the loss of a true legend.
The center of Reed, way back, get up, get out of here, go!
But number one has always been baseball for me, no matter what else I ever did.
I was born and raised here. I never had any thoughts of leaving here.
It's more of a friendship thing. It's not where I'm, the local broadcaster anymore. I'm one of the guys.
In 2025, Milwaukee's boys of summer are ready to pick up where they left off. With bats made of silver.
There it goes! William Contreras.
Gloves made of gold.
Diving stab, Terang gets up and he got him.
A rookie sensation.
Fair ball! Jackson Churio electrifying.
A veteran ace.
Swing and a miss. Peralta, swing and a miss. He got him.
And the return of one of the game's very best.
Yelich, a high drive. Goodbye.
The Brewers are ready to bring the noise back to the ballpark. The chase for the pennant starts today. Smell the grill. Tailgating is in full swing, and that means baseball is back. A warm welcome to you. This is Brewers Live, presented by Freighter and the Medical College of Wisconsin. Temps in the 30s, tailgates in the 80s, man. We are ready to rock and roll. Opening week of the 2025 Major League Baseball season. The Brewers and Kansas City Royals. One of the greatest days on the calendar here in Wisconsin. Jackson Churio, one of the faces of the franchise, has a full season of high-caliber success under his belt now as he enters his sophomore season in the big leagues. Welcome to the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports, says Craig Kashan and Vinny Rottino. Welcome to the home opener 2025. It's starting to get a little electric right now, Vinny. And I tell you what, after that weekend, didn't work out in New York. We all know that here right now, but it's time to charge it up.
Yeah, everyone's glad to be out of New York here at American Family Field. I mean, it is electric in here. It's going to be electric in here. The Brewers are certainly happy. They're going to be facing some adversity, right? They're already down 0-3 on the season. They're looking for their first W today. Hopefully they can get it.
Yep, we're looking forward to this matchup against the Royals. We'll preview all of this, have the opening ceremonies as well for you coming up in just a bit. But first, we want to dedicate the front end of our show right now to Bob Uecker. Of course, we said Jackson Churio, one of the faces of the franchise. Bob Uecker was the franchise, and he passed away at the young age of 90. This guy was a spark for his entire career here. This will only be the second season in Brewer history that Ueck will not be in the broadcast booth. The very first one in 1970, and this one now. And we're going to pay our respects to Bob Uecker, all of us broadcasters here right now that have had a chance to work with him for a very long time. He certainly inspired my career from when I was a young boy to get into this business as well, and I'll forever be appreciative of that. And we're going to kick it out to the booth here right now. BA and Rock set to call the home opener now, and you guys right next door to the radio booth, and obviously things much different this year.
Yeah, it hits different, too, coming here for the first time because, we had a chance to go see the family Bob's kids are here. Judy is here. And just being at the ballpark, because we all have our own unique history with Bob. It's all different for each of us. And he's not here, and he's always been here. So we're violating Bob Uecker code for sure, because he would never want it to be about him, Rock, but we apologize to Ueck because it is about him on this day, because it's a major loss for the organization, a major loss for the fan base. And personally, for both of us, I mean, such an impact that he had on us, and you were with him, I mean, 40-plus years.
Yeah.
That's a long history.
I knew him when I was playing, as a broadcaster. He taught us all so much about this business. He taught us so much about how to live your life. I mean, be honest and be loyal. Be appreciative of what you have. I mean, Bob Uecker always said, never take for granted what you are able to do for a living on a daily basis. Come into a big league ballpark and do games. Respect the game, respect the players, respect the city. He was a loyal guy. I'll never forget Bob Uecker, the way he would present himself. I mean, he never had a bad day at the ballpark. You knew that there were times when he was having an awfully difficult time getting himself ready, all the medical situations that he had to go through, family problems that he had to deal with losing 2 kids. But he wanted to come to the ballpark, and even last year, as tough as it was for him to get to the ballpark, it was always a better day here when you got to see Ueck. And even when he wasn't there, you knew that he was going to be there tomorrow, maybe the next day. So we have a heavy heart. I mean, this is a bittersweet day. I remember the day that we found out that he had passed away. I mean, you laughed, you cried, you thought about some great times, some great stories with Bob Uecker, but you know that this day was going to be coming, and it's not an easy day for players, fans, and us.
Yeah, and his voice, the memories of his voice just echoing through this ballpark. Obviously, it's a different experience being here today. They've honored Bob Uecker in so many ways. Obviously, the statues, I mean, those are always a gathering ground for everyone. So we'll try to treat this more as a New Orleans goodbye and a eulogy or a memorial. Will be some celebration, but obviously being here today is different than it has been. We've all done our bits, and we've all been on different interviews and talked about Bob Uecker, but today certainly different for all of us. So let's bring in Sophia a minute. One of my favorite images is Sophia and Bob spraying champagne, the dynamic between ages, but you were one of his favorites, Sophia, and I know a challenge for you as well today.
Yeah, look, it's an emotional day for everyone. I think just showing up here, and like you guys said, I think the highlight for all of us on a daily basis, being in the clubhouse every day, was the moment that the doors opened and Bob walked in the door. And I think that's what Pat Murphy, that's what the players, the staff, you think about him walking into the clubhouse, the big smile on his face, his greetings with all of the players, the handshakes. I think of Freddie Peralta, his locker being right there at the entrance of the clubhouse. I think of Tony Migliaccio, all of the hours that you spent sitting in Tony's office. And I know Tony is feeling so many things about Ueck here today as well. So many people reflecting on all of those memories. But it really was. But Bob was he was magnetic. He was a force. Every time he walked in the room, you wanted some time with him. They were conversations you never wanted to walk away from. You always wanted the laugh, the story. And I'll never forget just how he handled the weight of that, the weight of being Bob Uecker. And he knew what he meant to so many people. And like Rock said, with everything that he was going through last year, what Ueck put himself through to show up for everyone, the way that he did last year, and the joy that he brought to so many people, including us. How lucky were we to be a small part of his life and to have our jobs and our work overlap with his, and to call him a mentor, a broadcaster, a friend, just an incredible gift that I don't think we can ever put into words. And Pat Murphy spoke about that earlier today, and he reflected on his long relationship with Ueck, the last 10 years here for Murph, here with the Brewers, and now his second season as manager, his time with Ueck doing the Daily Manager Show. Here's what manager Pat Murphy had to say.
He didn't think he was better than anyone. He was just Bob Uecker. And to us, that's a legend. But, he was just who he was, and stayed with the Brewers even though he could have went many other places, and did all sorts of side things and some fascinating movies and the TV and the appearances. And he's a Hall of Famer. But he loved nothing more than being in the clubhouse with the boys. That's where he was at home. And somehow legends, you know what they say in Sandlot, right? They said legends never die. Heroes will be remembered. Legends never die. So I don't think he'll miss a pitch. I really don't.
Beautiful words from Pat Murphy. I think we all feel that about just the life and legacy of Bob Uecker and just what he means to all of us as broadcasters, as members of the Brewers family. For the fans, of course, they're feeling this loss tremendously as well. And Craig and Vinny, I think about one of the final interviews I did with him on the field here when the Brewers won the division, clinched the Central, and it was a great interview where Bob basically went through his history with the Brewers, and he said, as a player and as a broadcaster, he thought that he had been a part of more than 11,000 games. It's just an insane number to try to get your head around, but that volume of baseball history, just incredible. We love him. We miss him. We're going to think of him today and every day that we're here at the ballpark.
Yeah, 11,000 games in a million people who love the guy and call him best friend, and was the voice of their summers for so many years. Thanks, Sophia. Really, really nice things and remembrances on Bob Uecker. Now, Ueck had his signature home run call for 54 years. Get up, get out of here, gone. And the radio voice of the Brewers right now, Lane Grindle, on opening day. First home run of the season for the Brewers. Paid his deepest respects to Bob Uecker. Let's take a listen.
Two is a high fly ball, deep left field. Dominguez back at the track. Get up, get out of here. Gone for Vinny Capra.
So Lane Grindle on the call there on Thursday. He matches up with Jeff Levering, who of course is the television voice and radio voice, the voice of the Brewers here right now in every game. And guys, you're set to call the game today. Lane, what a tribute. Jeff, love your tribute today with the plaid coat, the loud sport coat that, you know, became Bob Uecker for so many years. Tell us what it's been like here so far today and what you expect it to be like in the radio booth as the game goes on today.
Well, I'll start, I guess, because I got the loud jacket on. This is from the 2017 Uecker trip that we had, and we all wore T-shirts that had him in a bathing suit, silk stringed on it. I almost wore that shirt today, but figured I'd class it up just a bit. But for me, and I'm sure Lane could say the same thing, this is the first game that we're having since the Game 3 of the Wild Card Series, and it's the first game we've got without Bob, and we have yet to come on the air yet. We're going to do that in about a half an hour. Lane and I and Josh and Kent went up and saw Bob earlier today at his gravesite. That was a very powerful moment. We're going to get through today, but I thought Lane did such a great job in the third inning and with the blessing of the family to use Ueck's call, and I thought it was delivered perfectly.
Well, thank you for those nice words. It was an honor to be able to do that, to be honest with you, and it could have been any one of us. It was something we talked about collectively as a group ahead of that game, about a week and a half out from it. And we talked to the family and got their blessing to do it. We just wanted to honor him the best way we could, and we felt like that was the best way to do it. His home run call is synonymous with all the fans. Everybody talks about his home run call, and I think it was fitting that it was Vinny Capra, to be honest with you. Vinny Capra was not an overly heralded guy coming into spring training, and you love those kind of players. And the funny thing is, I told you before the game, I thought Vinny Capra was going to hit a home run on that day, and the first batter that I called happened to be Vinny Capra, and he hits a home run. So it was interesting. It worked out that way. Honored to be able to do it, and as great as that was to be able to honor him, it's just going to be so tough moving forward for us, and today's one of those days we got to get through, and we got to do it because we know he would have wanted us to, and that's the most important thing.
Yeah, at the end of the day, talk about Brewers baseball. That's what he wants. And Vinny Capra, as Ueck would say, is one of our guys. Yeah. And that's exactly right, fellas. And it's going to be a fun day, and we're going to tell a lot of fun stories today. There's no doubt.
Well, we look forward to that, and you guys have an emotionally great call together today in the radio booth. Thanks for spending time with us and sharing some stories to remember Bob Uecker. Former player right here, state native Vinny Rottino. You have as much invested in this as a guy like me who's been around here our whole lives.
Yeah, we all do. I mean, I was a fan growing up watching the Milwaukee Brewers, and Bob Uecker is the reason why I love the Milwaukee Brewers. It's the reason why all the fans here love the Milwaukee Brewers. Ever since he took over in the booth, he was so entertaining. I remember going to so many games to County Stadium with my dad on the way up, listening to the pregame show, and then leaving a little bit early because it was a school night when I was 10, 11 years old, right? And listening to the rest of the game, Bob call it, and then the highlight show at the end of the game. I'll never forget it. And yeah, I mean, he's one of us too, right? So He went to public high school here in Milwaukee, Bob Uecker, and then he was a legend in the game. He was a nationally known hero to a lot of people, but yet he didn't think of himself that way. I remember as a player, I was the Vinny Capra type, although Vinny Capra's way better than I ever was. But I was that type of player, and he would come in and talk to me like I was a 10-year veteran. Hey, Vinny, how's it going? Like almost every single day that I saw him. That's the kind of guy he was. He was special to a lot of people. I was lucky to have known him just a little bit and lucky to have listened to so many of his calls. And he's the reason, again, why the Brewers are the Brewers and why so many fans are passionate about the team.
That's the bottom line. We're all lucky to have known Bob and spend so much time with him here at the ballpark, on the road, you name it as well. We're going to continue to honor you throughout this special 1-hour Brewers Live pregame show. We're going to hear from a lot of players as well. So lots more to come here. And we celebrate a birthday with today's starting pitcher. More on that on the way. Brewers Live on FanDuel Sports Network is presented by Freighter and the Medical College of Wisconsin. By WeatherTight, Wisconsin's most recommended remodeler. And by Keck Furniture. Visit Wisconsin's oldest furniture store, Keck Furniture, downtown Watertown, distinctly different.
Craig Kashan, congratulations on 25 years as a member of the Brewers broadcasting team. Man, you are as much a part of Brewers baseball as any non-player could possibly be. You've been the glue all these years, the consummate professional. You show up every day and deliver every day that I've been around you. And that's 19 years, and you've been here a lot longer than that. 25 years. It says a lot. You're a familiar voice. You're one of the signature sounds of the Brewers on television, and I'm really proud to call you a teammate, my friend. Congratulations, and many more years to come.
Krager, congrats on 25 years. Thanks for being such a good steward and ambassador of Brewers baseball. You've done such an amazing job, and thanks so much for being one of my best friends.
Krager, congratulations on 25 amazing years with the Milwaukee Brewers and the family of networks that we have been a part of. It's an honor to call you a partner, a teammate, but more importantly, a friend. Kudos to you, buddy. Happy 25 years.
Hey, Krager, congratulations on your 25th season of Brewers baseball. We're just getting started on another season, and what an amazing accomplishment, Craig. We couldn't be happier to be starting another season with you. You have been our host, our friend, our leader. You just get us started every day on Brewers Live. So congratulations. We all love you so much, Krager.
Krager, 25 years. What an incredible achievement as a member of this Brewers broadcast team. The fans are so lucky, but really we are even luckier getting to call you a teammate. And for me personally, a mentor and a friend. You've meant so much to me in my career and my time with this Brewers organization. I can't wait for another 25 of Brewers Live. Come on, I had to do it at least once. Congratulations, buddy, and thank you so much for all you've done for so many of us.
Happy birthday, Craig. I just want... What? Oh, congratulations on 25 years of Brewers Live. That's amazing. I just want to say thank you for being such a great mentor and friend. And I know your back's been hurting from carrying me on the broadcast all these years. So get well, Craig. Brewers Live.
Got to be kidding me. Who put that together? Wow, what a surprise that is. Thanks, everybody. That is unbelievable. Man, that just means so much to me. I can't begin to tell you. That's just... Rocky?
Krager.
Was this your idea?
No, this was Stephen Watson's idea. So kudos to Stephen Watson. He put this together, started about last week. Where do I begin with you, buddy? I mean, we're friends, we're colleagues. I mean, Brewers Live is what it is today, because of you. We've had so much fun on camera, off camera. We got the shaving cream pies in our faces when we were down on the aluminum chairs, down in the first base dugout. That was a good time. Jeremy Burnitz and Richie Sexton, got us pretty good. Remember the beer brewing competitions back there a few years ago. We had a good time with that.
I don't remember any of that.
We had even a better time tasting the beer that we were doing. But, our families have been friends, and you have meant so much, to all of us. I mean, you are beloved. I mean, you are one of the big key elements to what, Brewers TV has been all these years. And, one of the things I remember as we wound up our time as, pre and post game hosts, I remember there were times when I tried to get you to laugh so hard before we went to break that you couldn't send it to break. And I did that a couple of times.
You did that many times.
I did that many times, and I was able to go to break. But congratulations, buddy. 25 years. Hopefully you get 25 more, because you are a true pro. You're a great friend to all of us. And I don't know what we'd do without you on this. So congratulations, my friend.
Well, Rock, thank you, man. You're one of the best in the business. And as much as you made me laugh and I couldn't throw it to break, you're probably going to make me cry, and I can't throw it to break either. But this was a huge surprise by our staff. This is why we always say every broadcast to our viewers how lucky we are to be together, and we've been together for a really long time, and that's the greatest thing. My numbers almost to where your numbers are, Rock, but everyone else is they're right behind, and this has been quite a process to go through, and it's been, I always say this, it beats working. That's for sure. All this time.
What makes it great is that we're all a family.
Yeah.
Camera people, folks in the truck, Renee, everybody at the ballpark. We are one and all, and you kind of are the quarterback with that, in pre and post game. So keep it up, buddy.
Thanks, my man. Appreciate it. Love all you guys for sure. So, wow, that was a surprise. Big surprise. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. That was just wonderful. All right, hey, good to be home. What more can you say? We're ready for the opener. Oh, man. Brewers Live at FanDuel Sports Network is presented by the Chocolate Factory. Online ordering and curbside service available on our website. And by the University of Wisconsin Whitewater. Be bold here. All right, it's the home opener for the Brew Crew. And we have our Freighter injury report. And how about this? Another starting pitcher goes to the injured list. Aaron Cibali placed on the IL today with a hamstring strain suffered early in yesterday's game at New York. Pitcher Grant Anderson has been recalled and will take his spot on the roster. And the starting pitching staff dwindling because of injuries here. They got to try to keep it together. And we'll talk more when we come up about who's next in line to start. A new face on the franchise. Stick around. Brewers Live at FanDuel Sports Network is presented by Freighter and the Medical College of Wisconsin. By Wendy's. Wendy's Rewards. One app, all the Wendy's. Download it today. And by Menards. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. Got the home opener here today. The Royals and the Brewers, and Culver's is bringing strikeouts for Custer to American Family Field. Here's the deal, Brew Crew. If the Brewers strike out a batter in the third inning, you score a free scoop of fresh frozen custard. It could be vanilla, chocolate, or the flavor of the day from Culver's with any purchase. Let's take a look at today's starters. Chris Bubich on the hill for the Kansas City Royals. Alvin Rodriguez. Bubich will be the third lefty in the first 4 games the Brewers are facing. Rodriguez is celebrating his 27th birthday today. Signed as an offseason free agent. Spent last year in Japan where he was 1-1 with a save and a 1.80 ERA. Vin, he gets the opener role today to see how far he can go. And he's the new Brewer acquisition.
Yeah, Pat Murphy at one point in camp called him one of the top 5 stories of camp just because of his performance, just because of what he's going to be able to provide both in the bullpen and then potentially as a starter. They may need him to start from here on out. Just what he's able to do, 96 miles per hour, a sharp, nasty curveball. You saw it a bunch right there. He's got a slider and a changeup to go with it. He had some struggles with the Yakult Swallows his first year in Japan because they wanted him to throw a split. He said, one of my best pitches is my changeup. So he had a phenomenal year last year because of that. He was who he was and used his arsenal. And he was great last year in Yakult. And now the Brewers have him, and they're looking for big things out of him today.
All right, you know what? He could surprise everybody. Yep. Starting pitching outside of Freddie, it's been kind of a rough start over the first 3 games. So we'll see what Elvin can bring here. Again, it's his 27th birthday. We've got Brewers Live, our 1-hour pregame show, getting you set for the home opener in Nelly's Corner, remembering our old buddy Davey Nelson as well today. More to come. We've got lineups on the way.
I remember the first time I got called up, it was like the second or third day. I sat down for lunch and he sat down next to me and he just started telling stories, and I was there for probably 3 hours, missed some meetings, and I'm like, oh no, I'm missing meetings. And then I think like Dawson or someone was like, where were you? I was like, oh, I was with Uke, and he's like, oh, completely fine. And I think that just kind of sums up Uke as a whole and how much he means to the Brewers, how much he means to baseball, and how important he is, and what a great life he lived, but just couldn't be more grateful to be able to have, formed a friendship with him.
Yep, Uke, one of the players his entire life, really, if you think about it. The statues all over the place out here at American Family Field, inside, outside. The players have already talked during the spring and even today how much, especially today, they're going to miss not having Uke around, that's for sure.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, if you think about the most iconic sports figures in Wisconsin history, right, it's Vince Lombardi for the Packers and then obviously Bob Uecker. Those are the two.
Yeah, it's a tough one to argue, that's for sure, Vin. Let's take a look at the lineup here for Game 4. Brewers looking for their first win. Jackson Chourio, top of the order. Yelich is going to be in left, so Chourio the DH. Contreras behind the plate, Hoskins at first, Frelick out in right, Capra at third, Mitchell out in center, Ortiz at short, and Bryce Terang, number 9 spot in that order. And so the Kansas City Royals very much kind of framed up like the Milwaukee Brewers here, 1-2 on the season. They're coming out, and look out for Bobby Witt Jr. It's kind of the Royals version, maybe a year or two more season of a Jackson Chourio.
Well, yeah, I mean, this is the second best player in the American League last year. Aaron Judge got a unanimous MVP award last year. He had 30 first place votes. Bobby Witt Jr. had 30 second place votes. So this was the consensus second best player in all of baseball last year. You see the numbers. I mean, these are video game type numbers from Bobby Witt Jr. Hit 332. Last year there was a 25 game stretch for this guy where he had 49 hits in 98 at bats. That's over 500. I mean, it's like he was playing in Little League when everyone else is in the big leagues. I mean, this is a guy that you have to try to keep off the base. I don't know how they're going to do it, but anytime he gets on base, he's one of the fastest, if not the fastest player in all of baseball as well. It's so disruptive. The Brewers have to find a way to get him out. Bottom of the zone, he will chase sliders, breaking balls down. Let's see if Elvin goes to that against him. And there's a small safety zone up and in where you can land a fastball. Tough spot to hit. Let's see if Elvin can do that. But you have to try and keep Bobby Witt Jr. off the base.
Indeed, and Elvin Rodriguez, the birthday boy today. How about that, getting the home opener start on your 27th birthday? Didn't even pitch in the majors last year. Just had a couple of stints in the majors in his career, 27 years old today, and ready to rock and roll. The players are going to get introduced coming up here in just a couple of minutes. We've got the opening day ceremonies, full ceremonies on the way, the national anthem, and a very special tribute to the late, great Bob Uecker, not only pregame here, but throughout our broadcast as well. So we're looking forward to all that. Stick around as our special edition of Brewers Live continues before first pitch.
This ballpark has been home to me for most of my life. And just like you, it has a special place in my heart.
those good times have slipped away like a blink of an eye. It is a very sad time for me, for I have been here as a player, as a fan, and as a broadcaster. It's time to say goodbye. For what was will always be. So long, old friend.
Well, memories of that voice will never die. Bob Uecker. And we celebrate him today, this opening day, back inside American Family Field. That was his speech sending off County Stadium, but those words ring true and speak from us to him on this day. So long, old friend, indeed. Hi, everybody. Brian Anderson with Bill Schroeder. So great to be back with you. Opening day here in Milwaukee. It is always a special day. There's certainly a hole in all of us with no Bob Uecker today, but Rock, no place I'd rather be on this day than standing next to you, pal.
Yeah, I mean, I've done 38 of these. I mean, as a player and as a broadcaster, and not a whole lot gets me nervous anymore. And we're talking about baseball and doing games on television. And not a whole lot gets me nervous anymore. And we're talking about baseball and doing games on television. But you have a certain little feeling in your gut on opening day, whether you start on the road, you come back here to American Family Field. There's that buzz, there's that energy. There were people lined up waiting to get into this ballpark at 5 o'clock this morning, waiting to get a good spot for the tailgating and all the festivities that surround opening day. The team didn't get off to a great start, but you got to flush that. And the Brewers are excited about it. You're down on the field, you're talking to the guys. They can't wait to get going here at home this year.
It's going to be a different opening day, and Bob Uecker would hate this part of it, but we are going to remember Bob Uecker. This is going to be a part funeral, part memorial, part baseball game. But for us, bear with us today. It's the first time we've all experienced this ballpark without him.
Yeah, coming to the ballpark today was a different thing, right? I mean, we all have our own personal stories that we have with Bob Uecker, the private stories that we've had, the discussions, you know, the funny times, the serious times. But, you know, without Bob Uecker here, it is a different set of circumstances. You know, coming into the booth here earlier today, you walk by the radio booth, you look in there, you expect to see Uecker. He's not there. He saw his family. He saw Judy, his wife, but had an opportunity to go in there and send our condolences to Judy. It's a tough day for her as well. Not just a tough day for us as broadcasters, tough for the players. They've been talking about that. Tough for the fans, tough for all baseball fans around the country to miss Bob Uecker. So it's going to be a bittersweet day today without him. Hopefully the Brewers can get it going today.
No, he won't be here, but he'll always be here in both ways. And we're happy about that. We're happy we had to know him the way we did. Let's go down on the field. Pre-game celebration, player introductions, and a whole lot more. Enjoy, everybody. Welcome to Brewers opening day.
Welcome to the field, Royal support staff, coaches, and reserves. Now the starting lineup for the visiting Kansas City Royals. First, please welcome the manager of the Royals in his third season, number 33, Matt Quatrero. Leading off and playing third base, number 6, Jonathan India. Batting second and playing shortstop, number 7, Bobby Witt Jr. Batting third, the designated hitter, number 9, Vinny Vascontino. Batting cleanup, the catcher, number 13, Salvador Perez. Batting fifth and playing second base, number 19, Michael Massey. Batting sixth and playing right field, number 16, Hunter Renfroe. Batting 7th and playing left field, number 1, MJ Melendez. Batting 8th and playing first base, number 21, Mark Canna. Batting 9th and playing center field, number 11, Michael Garcia. Starting pitcher for the Royals in the bullpen, number 50, Chris Bubich. Let's meet your 2025 Milwaukee Brewers. First, let's welcome the Brewers support staff. Vice President of Team Travel and Clubhouse Operations, Dan Larea. Manager of Team Travel and Clubhouse Operations, Joe Swanhart. Director of Equipment, Jason Schauger. Director of Clubhouse Operations, Tony Migliaccio. Manager of Clubhouse Operations and Equipment, Ben Wilkes. Executive Chef, Anthony Walton. Major League Dietitian, Adam Auer. Head Athletic Trainer, Brad Epstein. Assistant Athletic Trainer, Nick Jensen. Assistant Athletic Trainer, Lee Meyer. Assistant Athletic Trainer, Physical Therapist, Brent Hester. Strength and Conditioning Specialist, Jason Meredith. Assistant Strength and Conditioning Specialist, Jose Salas. Assistant Strength and Conditioning Specialist, Keegan Knoll. Manager, Major League Technology, August Sentry. Coordinator, Technology Operations, Daniel Sarna. Assistant Game Preparation Specialist, Evan Martin. Assistant Major League Technology Operations Specialist, Adel Yeh. And now the Brewers coaching staff, Associate Manager, Ricky Weeks. Lead hitting coach, Al LeBuff. Hitting coach, Connor Dawson. Hitting coach, Eric Tyson. Infield coach, Matt Erickson. First base coach, Julio Bourbon. Third base coach, Jason Lane. In the bullpen, field coordinator, Nestor Corredor. Assistant coach, Daniel DeMondeser. Pitching coach, Chris Hook. Assistant pitching and strategy coach, Jim Henderson. Bullpen coach, Charlie Green. Bullpen catcher, Adam Weisenberger. Bullpen catcher, Christian Correa. Now the Brewers reserves. In the bullpen, catcher number 98, Nick Cale. Pitcher number 65, Nestor Cortez. Pitcher number 59, Elvis Peguero. Pitcher number 57, Connor Thomas. Pitcher number 56, Grant Anderson. Pitcher number 53, Brandon Woodruff. Pitcher number 52, Brian Hudson. Pitcher number 51, Freddie Peralta. Pitcher number 47, Jared Koenig. Pitcher number 39, Chad Patrick. Pitcher number 37, D.L. Hall. Pitcher number 36, Tobias Myers. Pitcher number 33, Tyler Alexander. Pitcher number 32, Aaron Savale. Pitcher number 31, Yoel Payas. Pitcher number 29, Trevor McGill. Pitcher number 26, Aaron Ashby. Infielder number 15, Oliver Dunn. Catcher number 13, Eric Haas. First baseman outfielder number 9, Jake Bowers. Infielder outfielder number 6, Isaac Collins. And now, the starting lineup for your Milwaukee Brewers. And first, please welcome your 2024 National League Manager of the Year, number 49, Herb Murphy. Leading off, the designated hitter, number 11, Jackson Churio. Batting second and playing left field, number 22, Christian Yelich. Batting third, the catcher in the bullpen, number 24, William Contreras. Batting cleanup and playing first base, number 12, Reese Hoskins. Batting fifth and playing right field, number 10, Sal Frelick. Batting sixth and playing third base, number 18, Vinny Capra. Batting seventh and playing center field, number 5, Garrett Mitchell. Batting eighth and playing shortstop, number 3, Joey Ortiz. Batting ninth and playing second base, number 2, Bryce Terang. Starting pitcher for the Brewers, warming up in the bullpen, number 35, Elvin Rodriguez. Let's hear it for your 2025 Milwaukee Brewers.
Here we go, it's on. Show me what you got. And I just won't stop till we reach the top. You ready? It's on. When I step on set, I don't have to flex, 'cause I come correct. You ain't seen nothing yet. nothing yet.
The Brewers are proud of the men and women of our armed forces. To help us honor these brave men and women and salute our nation, we welcome the Milwaukee Police Honor Guard. Joining us on the field today is Valkyrie, a bald eagle from Schlitz Audubon Nature Center. Weighing in at 10 pounds and 14 years old, Valkyrie travels around the region, teaching people about bald eagles and conservation, a beautiful symbol of our nation. Fans, please turn your attention to the video board.
That dash, a simple line between the years that represents so much. Bob Uecker arrived on this earth in 1934 on an oleomargarine run. As he famously said, he left us in 2025.
But the 90 years in between, the 90 years that dash represents, my goodness, that's a life lived unlike any other. A remarkable, unmistakable, hilarious, glorious life.
For the last 6 decades, spanning generations, Bob Uecker was the voice of Brewers radio.
Holy cow, do you believe it?
The soundtrack of Wisconsin summer.
Wow, what a game this was.
No voice unlocks the flood of memories like Uke's. His play-by-play, his stories, his humor, his genius. He was there from spring training to season's end and sometimes even into October. For 54 years, he was there. He was always there.
And that's what makes Mr. Baseball so special is he truly is one of the guys.
And if that's all he did, it stands as one of baseball's legendary broadcasting careers. A unique love affair between a fan base and a beloved announcer. But oh, there was so much more.
Ball player, big leaguer, World Series champion, entertainer, philanthropist, comedian, TV star, movie star, Bob Uecker was an American icon. He was so much bigger than all of us, yet he was always one of us.
He grew up in Milwaukee, lived here, stayed here, died here. There was the world's Bob Uecker. Then there was our Bob Uecker.
That's the gift he gave this city, this state. The local kid who made it big, really big. Yet he never lost his Milwaukee roots.
So while we mourn his death, we celebrate his life. Very few did more with that dash than you, Mr. Baseball. We're sad you're gone. We're so thankful you let us know you the way you did. Your voice, your jokes, the shows, the movies, the speeches, and your smiling face is all right there for us. A catalog of brilliance, just a click away.
Thank you for the memories, Uke. There will never be another dash quite like yours. Rest in peace, old friend.
It's been a great run, but number one has always been baseball for me. No matter what else I ever did, baseball was the only way I wanted to go.
Gentlemen, at this time, please join us in a moment of silence for the legendary Bob Uecker. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, to help us honor America and lead us in the singing of our national anthem, the Brewers are pleased to welcome Milwaukee-based singer-songwriter Allison Mahal.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
We make our way to first pitch on this opening day. No baseball community like this one. Rock and I'll be back after the turn, and we'll get you set for Royals and Brewers.
You're watching FanDuel Sports Network, the home of the Brewers and Bucks.
Milwaukee Brewers baseball on FanDuel Sports Network is presented by Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Your win is waiting. We kick off the home schedule here today. The Kansas City Royals, a playoff team from a year ago, taking on the Milwaukee Brewers. And heavy hearts, Bob Uecker is on our mind. A beautiful celebration on the field prior to the game. All those players lining up on the field, earning that right to be called major leaguers on this special 2025 edition of Opening Day. We'll hear those calls forever in our memories. Uecker always on our mind. And with that, we welcome you. Hi, everybody. Brian Anderson with Bill Schroeder. We'll hear from Sophia Minner in just a moment. And just as Bob Uecker would be yelling at us to do right now, talk some baseball. And that's what we'll do. The Brewers had a rough time in New York, Rock. They dropped all three of those games. Tough time on the mound as well. But now you turn your attentions to the Royals and being home in this friendly environment.
Well, the Brewers are probably in the best stretch of baseball that they've been in years. I mean, 6 of 7 years they've been able to get to the postseason. Division titles, 3 of the last 4, and 2 in a row. Make no mistake, this is a very good young baseball team. They got caught into a buzzsaw in New York. The Yankees are swinging the bats incredibly well. The Brewers' offense wasn't so bad either, but these guys, talking to them down on the field during batting practice today, they are fired up to be home. They've heard a lot of these guys that haven't been there, heard a lot about the crowd and the enthusiasm here at American Family Field and in Milwaukee. They are fired up, and I think this is going to be a good start to good things to come for this team.
Brewers have the reigning National League Manager of the Year. It's his second opening day as a big league skipper, Pat Murphy. He's standing by with Sophia Minner.
Thanks, B.A. Murph, as we start this home season, the first without Bob Uecker, what are you thinking about and feeling as we just saw the tribute to him a moment ago?
Yeah, it's emotional. You know, he was such a great friend to so many of us and such a great person. You know, we'll never fill his shoes. There'll never be anyone like him, but I'm just proud to know that I had him for those years and that Milwaukee had him for those years. And we try to move on, but I don't think he'll miss a pitch. Legends never die, so I think he'll be with us today.
It's an emotional day, and on the mound, Elvin Rodriguez is getting ready for his Brewers debut. What kind of length do you hope to get from Elvin today?
Yeah, we're hoping we can get 3 or 4 innings at the most. We're decimated on the mound right now, and all we can do is go pitch by pitch and do everything we can, all hands on deck, to try to, get back into a point where we're a little healthier.
All right, Murph, thanks for the time.
Thank you.
Well, some of the biggest names in the game here. Christian Yelich, 2 of the youngest stars, superstars in baseball as well. Jackson Churio and Bobby Witt Jr. Time for baseball. Let's do it. Lineups, first pitch, opening day at American Family Field. We've got it for you next. Milwaukee Brewers baseball on FanDuel Sports Network is brought to you by Menards. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs.
I think a lot of it just comes from belief in yourself and belief that you can make something happen.
And a base hit into right. The Brewers clinch the National League Central. What a day.
Creo que la celebración, nunca había vivido algo así, la verdad. Y fue especial, fue bonito. Ver el carrito con la cerveza sin alcohol, la verdad que fue divertido también.
The non-alcoholic beverages, that's great.
Yeah, he's not 21.
Yelich, a high drive.
You take that confidence into the offseason and build on it and come back into the next year with, bigger goals in mind.
We got to do our job, do what we can, and winning is fun, so we do a lot of that.
Ortiz, a bullet, and this ball game is over.
That ball's driven deep right center field. Frelick is there. He leaps, and he makes the catch. Oh, my goodness.
And that's what's fun. That's why we play.
In the air, it is gone. They've done it again. Wire-to-wire champions a year ago, and they put a comma on this golden era of Brewers baseball. Not a period. It is ongoing. Central Division champions, and now they play at home for the first time in 2025. Great to have you all with us. It's cold outside, the way it should be in April and late March in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Roof is all sealed up. It's perfect inside American Family Field. Brian Anderson, Bill Schroeder, our Emmy Award-winning reporter, Sophia Menard. Today's game produced by Brent Reeland, directed by John Walsh, and our outstanding production and technical crew. And we are so delighted to have all of you with us today on what is a day of celebration and a day of remembrance and a day where we get to enjoy some Brewers baseball that kicks off what we hope, Rock, will be a great summer of Brewers baseball once again, and it has been a lot of fun around here for a long time now.
Yes, it has. I mean, 6 or 7 years, as we talked about when we came on the air, they've made it to the postseason, looking to win the division for the 3rd consecutive year. They've got a young, hungry team. These guys were swinging the bats extremely well in spring training. Didn't swing the bats too poorly at Yankee Stadium, although the Yankees put on a show, hitting 15 home runs. But this is a team that is destined for success, and Pat Murphy would have nothing left.
Sellout crowd has made their way in. The tailgating scene, epic as always. Those smoke plumes coming out of the parking lot looked like the place was on fire.
That's good, though, right? I mean, the grills, hopefully they're going out before too long, but it's one of the traditions one of the many traditions here at American Family Field. The parking lot's packed, as we talked about earlier. I mean, there were cars lined up to get in here at 5 a.m. Kind of typical.
But it's so great to come into a ballpark, and if you live here, you know this well, to be able to see green grass, neon green grass. Field is in immaculate condition. The signature of Bob Uecker out there in center field. Bob always had that immaculate signature as well. Used to make fun of us all the time for our sloppy handwriting. Take your time when you sign autographs so people can read it, and now we get to enjoy that. Always loved that famous signature of Bob Uecker. Not one, but two statues. And they have been heavily visited for the last few months. Opening day 2025. Brewers and Royals. And we can't wait to bring it to you. And can't wait to bring you games all season long. Just awaiting Elvin Rodriguez to pop out of that dugout. He gets the start for Milwaukee today. It'll be a bit of a spot start. Brewers are not in great shape, Rock, in their rotation. The reinforcements are coming. They do have 3 pitchers that are on their way back, could be back in a month. But until that time, they're going to have to hold as best they can and try to keep themselves in it record-wise. And they're going to have to go with guys like Elvin Rodriguez, Nestor Cortez, new addition. Rough start at his first one as a Brewer.
Here are your 2025 Milwaukee Brewers.
And that's the sight and the sound we've been waiting on for a long winter. Brewers baseball is back at American Family Field. There's Matt Quatrero, skipper of the Kansas City Royals. Looks like Team Pyomp's out there for the play ball kids.
Having a good time out there on the field with Dad.
It's very nice. And let's do that. Elvin Rodriguez, Rock. This is a guy, I'm sure that heart is pounding in his chest right now, not just to get a start in the big leagues.
Yeah.
After pitching overseas last year, but he's celebrating his 27th birthday today, and he gets a start on the home opener.
Yeah, and he's thrown the baseball pretty well down in spring training. He made 5 appearances, started 3 games, had 2 rough appearances, but the other 3 extremely well. Yeah, big fastball, good slider. 32 games over in Japan last year with the Yakult Swallows. A good earned run average of 180. He has had Major League time with Detroit and Tampa Bay.
Batting order brought to you by Potawatomi Casino Hotel, and a familiar face leading off, Jonathan India, the former Red. One of the game's great young players, Bobby Witt Jr., the batting champion a year ago, and Vinny Pasquantino, who's been bothered by tightness in the hamstring, so he's going to be the DH today. 9-time All-Star Sal Perez is still the big name in that lineup. Royals in their powder blues. How sweet are those unis? Brennan Miller will call the balls and strikes. Chris Conroy, the crew chief, at first. John Tempane at second base, and Edwin Jimenez is the third base umpire. And umpires making sure everything is closed up, buttoned up. All the pieces in place here.
What are we waiting on? Somebody throw a hot dog on the field?
Waiting on the Pyomp's.
The kids are still there.
They locked him in.
Hotel California.
Somebody's got to let him out.
You can check out but never leave.
Say, Katina Shaw, she's in control. She's got it handled.
Getting a hold of Ryan Woodley and the ground crew. Hey, let me out of here.
They'll be there shortly, Katina. Only adds to the building drama.
There we go.
It's all about the details, partner. It's great to be back with you again, by the way.
Welcome back. I mean, it's been a while, right?
19 years for me, 31 for you.
Yep.
We love each and every minute of it. And here we go. First pitch of the season in Milwaukee. In there for a strike. And we're off and running. Jonathan India getting the start at third base today. Something he had never done prior to his tenure with the Royals. Came to Kansas City in a trade. India, Bobby Witt Jr., Vinny Pasquantino will be the first 3 against Elvin Rodriguez. And you heard Pat Murphy talk to Sophia about Rodriguez. They are hopeful to get 3 innings out of Rodriguez.
Yeah, good slider right there. 4-seamer, 2-seamer slider. Again, Pat Murphy trying to patch together a starting rotation right now.
Pitched out of the bullpen in Japan a year ago, was with the Rays in 2023, Rodriguez. And you just never know in this game. You earn that right to put that big league uniform on. And fate has found him here today with the Brewers in need of starting pitchers. He's been stretched out enough to give him at least 3 innings. That's a line drive, base hit into left field. Yelich over to cut it off, and that's how the game begins.
Yep, hanging curveball right there. Left one up. Let's check out the Landmark Credit Union defense for the Crew. They played pretty well defensively at Yankee Stadium. Yelich, Mitchell, and Frelick. First time Yelich has played left field this year. Capper, Ortiz, Terang, Hoskins, and William Contreras catching for the 4th consecutive game.
Good to see Christian Yelich back and healthy. Back surgery a year ago. And says he feels great. Relieved a lot of pressure in his back, something he's going to have to deal with for the rest of his career. Bobby Witt steps in, one of the game's more dangerous hitters. Not only did he pop 32 home runs last year, he led both leagues in batting average. Witt hit .332.
Amazing. 1 out of 3.
And a big swing and a miss. Rodriguez challenged him with a fastball. Rock, this is one of those series you get a look at the future of the game in Jackson Chourio and Bobby Witt Jr.
Yeah, right. Both of these teams made the playoffs a year ago. Kansas City improved greatly, immensely from last year.
Little tapper, Rodriguez, and no chance to get Witt. Even if he comes up with it cleanly, Witt, one of the fastest players in the game, and that'll be an infield hit.
And kind of a tough break. Good pitch by Rodriguez. Ate him up. And that fastball boring in on his hand jammed him. But put in a pretty good spot down the third baseline. Really no play for Rodriguez, even if he's able to catch it.
So 2 men aboard to start it. Here's Vinny Pasquantino now. Big power bat in this Kansas City lineup. And Rodriguez crowds him. Pasquantino tweaked his hamstring toward the end of spring training. He's been playing through it, but he is the DH today. Our old friend Mark Canha, who was traded from Milwaukee to Kansas City, gets a start at first base. It was a late spring training trade that sent Canha to Kansas City.
Yeah, a couple of former Brewers in the starting lineup for the Royals. Hunter Renfroe, Mark Canha.
Rodriguez could use a double play ball here. Try to settle this first inning down. Pasquantino pops it up. And that looks like it'll head to the seats. Live wire crowd as always. And a packed house. Brewers are undergoing some renovations down the right field line. That's where that sign we showed you earlier must be in the front row, the famous Euchre sign. So that's down the right field line. The baseball operations offices are under that. So that's the only area that is getting a bit of a remodel. The ballpark looks great. A lot of new additions. The giant scoreboard in center field, beams.
This ballpark could not be in better condition right now. Ryan Woodley and his staff, heck of a job by them.
Panels are closed up today. It's 40 degrees outside. A perfect 65 inside with the roof closed and the panels closed. And a swing and a miss. Pasquantino chases the high cheese.
You don't want to be throwing too many 3-1 pitches to this guy. Or the guy on deck, Salvador Perez. Got that one by him.
Full count to Pasquantino.
Fastball at 95, good velocity, pretty straight with a four-seamer. Important for Rodriguez to be able to land this off-speed stuff consistently.
Never faced Kansas City. Has never pitched in Milwaukee until now. And Pasquantino, high fly ball over is Frelick. Both runners tag. Frelick hauls it in. Only India will advance. And the first out of the game Comes on a scary fly ball off the bat of Vinny Pasquantino.
Yeah, glad we're not in Yankee Stadium. That probably would have left the ballpark. Ball really carried well over the weekend in the Bronx. Easy catch for Sal Frelick.
So the first out, Rodriguez can breathe a little easier. And now Salvador Perez. Icon in Kansas City. Part of those World Series teams. Had a bit of a rebirth last year, and he won't do all of the catching. Used to be one of the great workhorses behind the plate. Started 90 games last year, and that'll probably be around the same number this season.
Play him over at first base. He kind of likes first base. He'd rather do that than DH.
Freddie Fermin is the backup catcher. He'll get a lot of time with Salvador Perez, needing a little extra time away from the gear. Jammed him in a foul ball, and it's 0-2.
And Cutter backed up that time on the inside corner. Not where he wanted it, but Perez not able to get the bat head out.
See Bobby Witt's on the move at first base. Very fast runner. Royals are built very similar to the Brewers. They like to push the running game, especially with Witt. And a swing and a miss. Had him out front. Dropped a curveball on him.
Yeah, perfect location when you're ahead in the count. Curveball down out of the strike zone. Got him to chase. Perfect two-strike pitch. Got him on 3 pitches.
Rodriguez, 27 today, just his 6th major league start. Just his 9th major league game as he opens up with strike 1 on Michael Massey. Massey, Kansas City's talented second baseman. First and third, nobody, I beg your pardon, 2 outs, nobody in. And Rodriguez trying to keep it that way.
Really incredible numbers over in Japan a year ago. 180 ERA, 32 games.
Yakult Swallows, one of the teams in Tokyo. It's a big team over there. Hit hard. That is deep. Left field, Yelich. Can't get it. And it bounces out. That'll be a ground rule double. India will score. Witt will be sent back to third. And it's an RBI double for Michael Massey. Brewers cannot avoid first inning damage this season.
Able to get a 1-0 lead in yesterday's ball game, but the Yankees were able to storm back quickly. That ball just kept going. Yelich didn't miss it by much. But Massey got good wood on that baseball. It was deep and it was slicing away from Yelich. Stayed in the ballpark, but a run in.
Fortunate that it did bounce out. Witt would have scored easily had that ball stayed in. Churio, the designated hitter today, with the outfield of Yelich, Mitchell, and Frelick. Early visit to the mound by pitching coach Chris Hook. High pitch count in the first.
The Brewers pitch counts, their starting rotation has had high pitch counts in each of the first 3 games.
Brewers did place Aaron Savali on the injured list today. Sophia will have a little bit more on that later in the broadcast. So a lot of injuries out of the gates early with the arms. Certainly hoping Tobias Myers and Jose Quintana, Brandon Woodruff, 3 major pieces in that starting rotation, will be back hopefully by the month of May.
Talking about the month of April.
Soft liner in the left, a base hit, and this is going to bring in 2 runs. Bobby Witt will score. Massey right behind him, and the Royals put a 3 spot on the board in the first inning.
Yeah, last thing you needed to see. Opening day, 3 runs in the first inning. The Brewers are going to have to play from behind once again. That was a breaking ball. Slider or cutter right off the end of the bat, but able to dump it in the left. Ball was up a little bit. Good piece of hitting to drive in a couple of 2-out runs. All 3 runs coming with 2 outs.
And now the 7th man in the inning to bat, MJ Melendez. Massey with the RBI double. Oh, beg your pardon, the 2 RBI single. Melendez, Kansas City left fielder, and tied him up. A strikeout to end the inning. 3 runs are in, though. Chris Bubich on the mound. We'll see Jackson Churio lead off. Hunter Renfroe drives in 2. Royals get 3 in the top of the first. Now the Brewers coming up. Pat Murphy, the reigning National League Manager of the Year. 2nd season as a big league skipper. As we take a look at his Potawatomi Casino Hotel batting order with Churio, Yelich, and Contreras at the top. Rhys Hoskins, Sal Frelick, Vinny Capra, Mitchell, Ortiz, and Terang round out the starting 9. Chris Bubich on the mound. He's in that starting rotation as their 5th starter. Pitched out of the bullpen last year, coming back from Tommy John surgery.
And first start for him in 2 years. Good numbers out of the pen a year ago. 267 his earned run average. More strikeouts than innings pitched. Brewers have faced a lot of lefties to start the year.
Jackson Churio just fine with that. And a big swing from Churio. Bubich won't overpower you with a fastball. But he's got good velocity. Got a great changeup.
Changeup, sweeper. Doesn't throw many curves and sliders anymore. It's more the sweeper.
First time Churio has not started in left field as he gets the DH duties. And it's right down the heart and a swing and a miss as Churio is out number 1.
Yeah, that fastball pretty straight. Got it by him.
Here's Christian Yelich now. Yelich gets a nice hand. Tell you, when he was injured last year, dealing with the chronic back injury, as Yelich squirts one foul. At this point, Rock, you just don't know how much baseball Yelich has left at the time of that injury last year. There's concern that his back would become too big of an issue, but fortunately for him, he got the right kind of care and a surgery in the back, which is always scary, but a very successful surgery. And Yelich says he feels great.
As good as he's felt in a long time. He was leading the league in hitting before he went on the injured list.
Yelich has started all 4 games. First 3 games was as the designated hitter, kind of saving his left field start until the home opener. Spent a lot of time in that DH role. And a swing and a miss. Perez will secure it at first. Back-to-back strikeouts to start it for Bubich. And here comes William Contreras. He's in our Hyundai driver's seat. William Contreras at American Family Field last year. 285 average, popped 12 homers, OPS at 843. One of the game's top catchers, both sides of the ball.
And then comes to the ballpark to play every day. Does a real good job going to the opposite field. The Kansas City Royals are giving him a lot of room in right center. They've got Garcia, the center fielder, swung way around toward left.
Contreras has caught all 4 games this season. Eric Haas is the backup. 23 homer year a year ago. He drove in 92. He was named the Brewers MVP. 2nd straight year he's won the Brewers MVP. That's voted on by the baseball writers in the Milwaukee chapter.
Silver Slugger Awards.
And Contreras fights it off foul. 1-2 the count. Bubic throwing strikes.
That's his forte. I mean, throwing strikes, doesn't walk that many. Good job out of the bullpen.
Royals spot him a 3-0 lead. Massey an RBI double, and then Hunter Renfroe with a 2 RBI single. 1-2, and back to the screen it goes. Brewers have the Royals and the Reds in town this opening homestand. 7-gamer. It'll conclude Sunday.
Interesting, the first 2 series of the year, interleague games.
Taking a pass through the American League with the Yankees and the Royals before the division rivals get here. Bubic strikes out the side. Not a great start. Royals get 3 in the first. Brewers go down swinging 3 times in the bottom of the first. That's not going to dampen the mood. It's opening day, the home opener in Milwaukee. We head to the 2nd inning.
Here at American Family Field, Elvin Rodriguez making his Brewers debut on his birthday. Needed 26 pitches to get through that first inning. When we spoke to Pat Murphy before the game today, they need some length from him here today, considering the 2 short starts that they got in New York. Aaron Savali went on the injured list with the left hamstring strain. He was yesterday's starter, went just 3 innings. So Murph told us that they were hoping to get 3 innings at least, or up to 70 pitches for Elvin Rodriguez. He was the only pitcher that did not pitch in the Yankees series. He did do a touch and feel off the mound Wednesday at the team workout to get himself ready for this in case he was needed, but he's ready to go here, guys. And don't forget that part of this is that Abner Uribe is serving his 4th and final game of his suspension going back to last season. So they're also down a reliever. They have a fresh arm in Grant Anderson, who was the corresponding move with Aaron Savali, but certainly Pat Murphy would like to see some length from Rodriguez.
And this really isn't a surprise. I think the Brewers, going out of spring training, knew that this was going to be a bullpen game today, in hopes that Rodriguez can give him maybe 3 or 4 innings.
Mark Canha, Kansas City's lead man here in the 2nd. A pop-up to Hoskins. The former Brewer is retired. Now you got to survive the first month of the year until the reinforcements come. And by the way, the good point Sophia made about Abner Uribe, when you have a suspended player, you have to play a man short. Yeah. It's a part of the penalty for the player and the team. So the Brewers roster is 25 right now.
Be available tomorrow.
Yep, 4-game suspension. He never made it back up after that skirmish, and then he got hurt, and so that suspension carried over to this season for Uribe.
Had to be a nice arm to get back. I mean, he throws the triple digits, good sliders, needs to throw strikes, but it's going to be nice to have him back in that bullpen.
Michael Garcia, big swing and a miss, and Rodriguez in a 2-1 count. Garcia making his first ever start in center field. Been playing there in spring training, prepare for this as he drills one into center field. That is deep, and that is going to be gone. Michael Garcia with a home run out of the 9th spot in the batting order, his 2nd of the year. Plenty of thunder in that bat, and it's 4-0 Kansas City, and they are doing all they can to spoil the party here in Milwaukee.
Yeah, that was a 2-ball 1-strike fastball right down the middle, about 92, 93 miles an hour, and he did not miss it off the batter's eye. Had to throw strike, didn't want to walk him, and he takes advantage of it and knocks it out of the ballpark. 4-0 here in the 2nd.
Rough pass through the first time in the batting order for Rodriguez. Royals with 5 hits, 4 runs through the first 9 batters. Top of the order with India as he fouls it back.
He's got to do a better job catching the edges. Fastball in the mid-90s doesn't get it done at this level, right down the middle.
0-2 the count on India. Single to start the ball game last inning. tripped him up. And Contreras with the mask off, squeezes it for out number 2. 2 away from Bobby Witt Jr. Rockies in our advanced stat. It's brought to you by Potawatomi Casino Hotel. 3 players in the big leagues last year that went 30-30. Ohtani, Ramirez, and Witt. Serious company that young Bobby Witt Jr. is in.
Look at Ohtani's numbers in the 50s in both categories.
Scary.
But this is for sure one of the best players in the big leagues. As young as he is, he's figured it out.
Soft liner right to Terang. And the inning is over, but the Royals tack one more on. Home run by Michael Garcia. 4-0 Kansas City. See if the Brewers bats can go to work.
Now the Brewers teamed up with the Milwaukee Admirals again to offer a hockey night ticket package, including 1 Brewers ticket for Thursday night's game and a hockey-style hooded sweatshirt. Get tickets at brewers.com/theme nights.
Oh, these look nice. Bubic back on the mound to face Rhys Hoskins. It's good. I'm taking this one home. It's fit me. It doesn't fit you. It's a medium, Rock.
Yeah, I don't think I could squeeze into that.
Cut that in half. Hoskins, a foul ball. Bubic pouring in the strikes. And his offense giving him some run support. Great to be back with you, partner.
Yeah.
And all of our crew. Felt like we never left.
Didn't hear much from you in the offseason. Was that by design?
I knew your schedule.
You knew my schedule. Yeah, beat Bukovic. Yeah.
0-2 the count. And a big chopper over to Witt. 1 away. Well, you did a great job with Joe Buck and Joe Girardi on the national game on ESPN.
Yeah, thanks. That was fun. I mean, Joe Buck very gracious. Joe Girardi was a lot of fun to be with, and the 3-man booth that creates different type situation than we're used to. But we kind of figured it out. It was a lot of fun.
They called you Bill a lot. Did you remember they were talking to you, or did you think you were in trouble the whole game?
Well, it was a lot easier for me to know they were talking to me when they said Bill as opposed to me saying Joe.
That could go either way with
Joe Buck, Joe Girardi. The producer's name was Joe.
Joe Buck told me you were his first-round draft pick. He said he had the choice of his partners. He said you were number 1.
Yeah,
see?
Yeah, I tell you, I appreciate Joe showing confidence in me. We had a great time. It was actually a really good game.
Yeah.
Brewers had the tying run at second base in the 9th.
1 away, Sal Frelick here in the 2nd inning. 4 in a row retired by Bubic. Well, he did a great job, and it was great to see the Brewers on national television for the first game of the year at Yankee Stadium.
Yeah.
And then you had Jeff Levering for the last 2. I mean, you're just churning through play-by-play guys right now.
Yeah, then I get home and I listen to you doing basketball. Well done again.
Thank you, sir.
You had some good games, didn't you?
Yeah, we had a nice run. No one shining moments, but some good games, good quality games this year. A lot of chalk in the NCAA tournament. All the number 1 seeds advance. Frelick draws a walk, first base runner for the Brewers.
Yeah, he's really putting together some good at-bats at South Frelick with all the left-handers the Brewers have faced. Spring training, Pat Murphy made a concerted effort to make sure his lefties were getting at-bats against left-handed pitching, knowing this stretch was going to be a lot of lefties.
There's Vinny Capra. Anybody that's got Rush as his walk-up music, instant to the top. And he's already had his moment. First big league homer comes at Yankee Stadium on opening day. First Brewer home run of the season.
And hit his way onto the roster with 6 home runs in spring training. First at bat this year.
Powerball home run count for Milwaukee. Jake Bauers homered yesterday off the foul pole in right field. Capra's got a chance, and he knows it is a key window in his career. He's 28 years of age. He's bounced around a little bit. brief big league time with Toronto and Pittsburgh. 3 games with the Brewers last year, but he's hoping this is the year that he sticks. And he's getting the chance at third base against lefties. Little flare, right center. Back on it is Massey, and it's a second out.
And he and Oliver Dunn have played a really good third base. Brewers should be very good defensively once again. Winning the Gold Glove for team defense, and again this year, or last year.
Well, there's a great defender right there, Garrett Mitchell. And hoping for a healthy season this season. 69 games last year. He popped 8 homers in those 69 games. What a talent he is. And now hoping he can avoid the injured list this season.
Yeah, got hit in the hand, in Yankee Stadium, and that was kind of one of those oh my goodness situations. Broke his finger last year.
It was a left index finger. Didn't rejoin the team until July. That is paint on the corner. Strike 2. Oh yeah, got the great spikes on the Bob Uecker tribute Nikes. Love that.
Man, that's something, huh?
Kudos to the artist who did that for Mitchell. Bob Uecker tributes everywhere. This will always be Bob's home. I've been here 19 years. It still feels like I'm walking into Bob's house.
Well, Bob Uecker is and always will be Brewers baseball.
See the bouquet that's up there in the radio booth. Jeff Levering and Lane Grindle, Ken Sommerfeld, Josh Mauer. Tough tape for those guys as well.
Yeah, did the same thing in spring training. Left his seat unoccupied.
0-2 pitch. Mitchell, slow roller, no chance. Infield hit. So a walk and a single in this second inning.
Well, Bobby Witt Jr. got one just like that. Back in the first inning. That one right off the end of the bat. And no chance. A single for Garrett Mitchell. And breaking pitch right off the end. Stayed on it long enough to get a piece and able to beat it at first base.
The benefits of putting the ball in play. So here is the new Brewers shortstop, Joey Ortiz. Taking on the heavy burden of replacing Willie Adames. Ortiz is a slick fielding shortstop. He was a slick fielding third baseman a year ago. But his natural position is shortstop. And after some deliberation between Turang and Ortiz, Brewers open up the season with Ortiz at short, Turang at second. You couldn't go wrong either way.
Yeah, I mean, Ortiz looked really good in New York. Yeah, Turang's shoulder issue at the end of spring training, I think, made the decision easy for the Brewers.
2 on, 2 out, 0-2 pitch, fouled away by Ortiz. And I think the message to Joey O is that you're not trying to replace Willie Adames' production. Very few can do that. Just play a steady shortstop. He's going to give you the flashy play as well. And contribute when you can offensively. Muscles that one. Slow roller. Going to be a tough play. And the throw off the bag. Canna had to come off the bag. That ball had so much English on it. They'll score it as an infield hit, and the Brewers have them loaded with 2 outs.
Yeah, a couple of infield hits, and the Brewers are in business. Bases loaded. And with 2 outs. Let's check it out. Jammed on that. He's able to get a bat on it. Look how far inside that was. Bobby Witt Jr. had a long way to go, just not able to make an accurate throw. And the bases are loaded. Inning continues.
You can see that ball really die when it hit the grass. I think that altered the rhythm of Bobby Witt Jr. He had to change directions. And it'll go as an infield hit. Now the Brewers with the bases loaded, and Bryce Terang coming up. Terang homered at Yankee Stadium. 3 career grand slams.
And against lefties, he likes to use left field, likes to flip it into left field. Let's see if he can get one up in his zone. At-bats against lefties have been better.
Brewers had 10 salamis a year ago. And a bouncing ball. Canna stays in front, race to the bag, and the inning is over. That's a nice play over there by Mark Canna. Brewers strand them loaded. Failed to score in the second. 4-0 Royals. We head to the third.
There is no one who epitomizes a champion the way this man does right here. There is no one out here. What an example for us to be with every single day. Bob Uecker. No doubt.
Some of my favorite memories, and I know you feel the same.
Yeah.
Those celebrations with Uke.
They never really start until Uke gets down in the clubhouse.
I was with him. We walked down there, and I had told him they're waiting for you, and he thought for a minute about not going in the clubhouse. Said, you got to go.
You got to go. They'd be devastated.
And, yeah. So that was the celebration, and yeah, that's one of my favorite pictures right there. Look at that.
Yeah.
What a shot. Mark Atanasio in the background. Champagne flying. Brewers have enjoyed a lot of champagne celebrations. In a great era of Brewers baseball. A pop-up by Pasquantino. Ortiz puts it away for out number 1.
I remember after a 26-year postseason layoff back in 08, Brewers made the postseason. There was a pep rally before the team went to Philly.
Over at the Summerfest grounds.
Yeah, Summerfest grounds. It was packed too. Uke said a few words, and I tell you, celebrations were always much better when Bob Uecker was around and was involved in them, and there have been a lot of them in the last 7 years. He's looking down upon us, expecting big things out of this team.
0-1 to Perez. He lines one into left center, a base hit. The elusive clean inning. We're starting pitchers, starters and relievers. And not talking about Bowers, who pitched 2 scoreless innings, but only been able to muster 8 scoreless frames of the 26 they have posted. Been a rough start on the mound for Milwaukee. Going to have to slug your way to some wins in the early going until the reinforcements come around.
Yeah, short starts just about every game, except for the first. Freddie went 5 innings. He pitched really well. Other than that, there's been a lot of short starts. We'll see how long Rodriguez can go, and that puts a lot of pressure on the bullpen.
Michael Massey. Fly ball into left. Yelich eases over. And he's got it for the second out. Massey had that 2-out RBI double in the first, kind of opened it up. Renfroe then singled in 2 more runs. 3 2-out runs in the first. And then Michael Garcia homered last inning. 4-0 Kansas City.
And Massey's going to left field in each of his first 2 at-bats today.
And here comes Renfroe, always ready to fire on the first one, and he does, and he lines one deep left center field. Mitchell's got it. Close call, but an 8-pitch inning, and more importantly, a scoreless inning. 4-0 Kansas City. Brewers coming to bat. We go back to the top of the order. Well, it's 4-0 Kansas City, but does not dampen the celebration here opening day in Milwaukee. And Mark Atanasio joins us, Brewers owner, down there with his family, and Debbie. See Mike behind him. And,
that's actually, that's our friend. Yeah, there's Mike and our friend Phil.
Good to see you, Mark, and always special to be here for opening day. But obviously the heaviness of being here without Bob Uecker. And I also noticed you had your dad's pen, your dad Joe, who was such a big part of opening days before he passed as well. I'm sure this brings a lot of emotions for you, good and bad.
Yeah, it's bittersweet. I was saying this is our 21st season, and you know, baseball is timeless, but life isn't. So my dad was such a big part of things the first 10 years. My mom passed away just 6 days after Uecker. And oddly made a condolence call to Judy Uecker 5 days before. We all thought she'd live forever, but as we know, that's not the bargain in life. And all huge Brewers fans and all good friends.
Watching Jackson Churio here, and a called strike three. Mark, I know we've been sharing Bob Uecker stories, and I know you've been asked to speak on his behalf and for him and about him through these last few months. Give us something that we don't know about with Bob Uecker. You had so many interactions with him, something you could share that just kind of solidified your relationship, maybe in your early days too. I know you guys had some really interesting conversations when you took over as owner.
Yeah, he didn't want to meet me because he thought I was some banker from wherever. I was a banker for 1 year in my life. That was enough for you. And you know, Bob Jr. told me, which I shared in one of these interviews, that he thought, you know, when Bud, you know, went on to he'd just be the commissioner, that maybe his run was over here and didn't want to work for somebody else. And it was very hard to get him to that. Wendy Sula got him to that first meeting in Scottsdale at the Phoenician, which Uecker said he'd give me 30 minutes. He was very busy, and turned into 3 hours. And they're just a great friend to all of our family. I said to the media, and we got this great. He even met my my youngest granddaughter Ella, who just turned 1. Pictures of her in the booth, and it's hard to turn around and look at the booth and. Yikes is right.
That got him. Unfortunately, looked like a glancing blow here, and Yelich will head to first base. That was scary.
Yeah, that was high. He was able to get out of the way. Not sure where it got him. Yeah, fastball up and in. Head high. Oh, got him on the fingers.
Yeah. Look at the bottom. His right hand, maybe.
Yeah. Mark, getting back to the team, you know, what was your message to the team in spring training? It's been a really good stretch for your team. 2 in a row, division championships, 3 out of 4. What were some of the things you wanted them to keep in mind going into the year?
We just talked about, you know, trusting each other and trusting the process. You know, Pat Murphy ran an unbelievable meeting. You could see all the players, you know, 60-plus players in that were all focused. Murph mixes serious with laughter, and got big laughs for all his jokes. And by the way, if you notice, he got as big a cheer as any of the players did.
Yeah.
And so you know, I just usually emphasize that Debbie and I are there to support them and their families in any which way we can. And you know, there's a lot of confidence in everybody in that room, and you know, to the point this year, given where we started right now, you know, we played the Yankees very similarly last year, except in this ballpark, 1 run different, and you know, they ended up winning 94 games. We won 93. We got some things to sort out with pitching. We will. A lot of guys, we have a wave of guys coming back. You know, probably starting with Tobias Meyer, and you know, we're going to be good this year. I'll say it now.
I'll tell you, a good move is to get Jose Quintana. I got tired of watching him beat the Brewers, so a good move picking up him. Talk about that process a little bit.
Yeah, well, you know, as a spring training, I said to Matt, what about Quintana? And he said, well, you know, just talked to one of the Levinson's agent. And, you know, what I said to Matt is, look, at a minimum, we don't have to face him because he just beats us every time, right?
That's true.
And also just an outstanding guy. He's you know, rehabbing, and he's really building up his arm. Not really rehabbing, he's building up his arm now. So, from the moment he stepped in our clubhouse, he, you know, exerted leadership, and you know, we're looking forward to see him pitch in our uniform for a change.
visiting with Mark Ananasio. Yelich, the runner at first. Contreras, a cut and a miss, and out number 2. That's 5 strikeouts for Bubic. Mark, it had to be so satisfying. I know it's not all about awards, but you lose a head of baseball ops, a president. You lose a manager. That's a tough thing for an owner to restart at the highest levels, the top of what is in uniform with the manager and what is the baseball ops with a general manager or a president. And yet Matt Arnold and Pat Murphy both win their top awards for the year, the Executive of the Year and the Manager of the Year last year. How satisfying was that for you?
Well, you know, and I said to media, I think I'm still a little older than Murph, but almost like a proud parent. Probably not appropriate with Murph, but you know, those guys stepped right in, and in fact, what you saw was no change, as opposed to, oh gee, what are you going to do and how are you going to shift? The idea was that this is a very deep organization. The same way we look on the field, end up with over 50 players. We have a very deep organization in business and in baseball ops and on the field. So Murph had all the coaches stay last year. I think we made a couple of adjustments this year. A lot of them out in LaBeouf. Did you see he got a lot of national attention.
Yeah, it's a great story.
Minors. And I think, you know, we want to show folks here that they, you know, give their heart and soul to our club, that, you know, we give them every opportunity to succeed. And I just couldn't be happier about the job that, you know, Matt and Murph have done, and the way they built their staffs. Because it's not just day-to-day, game-to-game. It's, you know, everything that's going on qualitatively upstairs and in the dugout.
Hoskins, a swing and a miss. 3-2 the count. We play with 2 outs here in the third.
Mark, as far as the ballpark goes, I mean, we see some work being done up there in the upper deck and in right field. I mean, what other things have you guys been thinking about changing up?
Upper deck and right field, you know, those are not the easiest seats to sell, and our baseball ops group is bursting at the seams, so we're putting a state-of-the-art you know, working environment for them. It'll allow them to be together, you know. And I don't know if you guys ever stopped by the draft, but you know, you got Matt Arnold's like running around in 6 different rooms, you know, around the clock, you know, on the draft. And Todd Johnson's in one place and Matt's in another, and you know, whoever the you know, the area scout is in the third. So we'll have everything coordinated there, and you know, help recruit for what we think is one of the best baseball ops groups in the sport.
Is that an invitation for us to come to the draft?
I think we should go to the draft.
I mean, I'm in.
I think it's really interesting to see what goes on there, because it's very intense, actually. And what I love about our guys, it's not just intense in the first round. They're, you know, as you get into, you know, 6th round, 7th round, 8th round, I think we got Cooper Pratt in the 6th round, I think.
2 on for Frelick, and it misses away. Most importantly is the pickleball court still part of the baseball operation, because they have a pretty fancy pickleball court you paid for.
They did. It was, I will say it, you know, it was somewhat my idea. The guys, you know, frankly, first of all, I got a little nervous the way the pickleball courts were in Maryville, with guys slipping and sliding. And
Frelick drives one left field, got it on the barrel, but going to be run down.
We got to get one of those torpedo bats, but that's a different.
Nice, Mark.
Anyway,
always great to be with you. Thanks for spending time with us. Here's to a great season. It'll be without the voice of the Brewers, but we'll carry that legacy, and we look forward to it 2025.
You guys have certainly created a good legacy up there yourself. Thanks a lot, Brian and Rod.
Okay, Mark. Mark Ananasio. Royals lead at 4-0. We go to the 4th. MJ Melendez leads off for Kansas City, a swing and a miss as we start this 4th inning. Alvin Rodriguez back on the mound, coming off an 8-pitch inning. Needed that. Did give up a hit to Sal Perez, but put up a 0, the first 0 of the day. Brewers were going to be happy to get 3 innings out of Rodriguez, and now hoping to stretch him into 4. If you haven't been with us today, it's a little bit of an unusual situation. You even heard Mark reference it. We do have reinforcements coming, but right now the starting pitching core is pretty beat up and pretty thin. And while Rodriguez starts the game, he was not slated to be a starting pitcher. They started to stretch him out in spring training to kind of be a long man, Rock, so he's in that spot start role. And
yeah, guys down in the bullpen are starting to move around a little bit. Guys starting to stretch out. You figure this might be his last inning. You know what the greatest part of that interview that we had with Mark right there, when he said that he wanted to talk with you, and you said, "I'll give you. I only have 30 minutes for you."
I'm
so
very busy.
You get a new owner coming in. Would you have said that?
No.
Yeah.
Just the opposite.
Right. What time as you need, sir?
Yeah.
There's no doubt who's been in charge of this organization over the years.
That's for sure. Mark Canha.
Deservedly
one
so.
foul.
Yeah. I mean, it's just very surreal to be in this ballpark on opening day without him.
Yeah, my first opening day with the Brewers, Bob Uecker was in the booth to the right. Vin Scully was in the booth to the left. Talk about not fitting in with that crowd. And they're both gone.
Two of the greats of all time.
Ball and a strike on Canha. And 2-1 now. Royals got 3 in the first. All 3 coming with 2-out hits. Massey and Renfroe added 1 on the second. 2-1. Canha out in front, right off the end of the bat. Ortiz drifts back, calls it, and makes a catch. 2 quick outs, 4 in a row, retired by Rodriguez. Well, you would imagine Rodriguez was dealing with some serious nerves and adrenaline. I mean, when he signed with the Brewers, I'm sure starting a game on the home opener was the last thing on his bingo card.
And he nearly got through that first inning. He was 1 out away. And just not able to finish it off.
He's pitched in big moments. I mean, you pitch in Japan, you see how popular baseball is in Japan. And to pitch for that team, the Yakult Swallows, they draw well, a lot of intense games. So he's been through that before. But it's only his 6th ever start in the major leagues and only his 9th game in his career in the majors. 2 seasons he got big league time for Detroit in 2022, and then the next year with the Tampa Bay Rays. But minimal activity. Dominican Republic native.
He's got a good arm. All of a sudden landing his off-speed stuff.
3-1 to count. Garcia takes ball 4. 2-out base runner, and back to the top of the order. Game reset brought to you by Spectrum. Renfroe, the former Brewer, with a 2 RBI single to cap off that 3-run first, and then Garcia, who just walked, hammered one off the batter's eye in center field. His 2nd home run of the year. 3rd time around now. India takes a ball.
Boy, that's a tight zone, man. You know, as a pitch to Garcia, that could have been a strike. That one could have been a strike.
India skies one into left center field. Mitchell calls it, and another scoreless inning for Elvin Rodriguez. Settling in here is Rodriguez. Brewers down 4-0. Capra, Mitchell, and Ortiz due up. For 4-0 Kansas City. American military personnel serving overseas are watching this game on AFN, the American Forces Network. We welcome all of those in countries around the world aboard naval ships at sea. And as always, we thank you very much for your service. Brewers and Royals, first of a 3-game series from American Family Field. Kansas City, a playoff team last year. They lost to the Yankees In the division series, lost in 4. Yankees went on to the World Series, losing to the Dodgers.
Big improvement from 2023 to 2024 for Kansas City. Was it a 30-game improvement?
Yeah. They had 3 100-loss seasons since their last World Series. Kansas City, you saw Brian Hudson down in the bullpen for the Brewers. Vinny Capra leads off this 4th. Royals are trying to get a downtown ballpark built, and part of that process is to invest in the team and try to get back to winning ways. This is a team that just could not find their way into the winner's circle after those back-to-back World Series and a World Series title. And so they did that last year. Impressive turnaround. They had 3 100-loss seasons and a 97-loss season.
Yeah.
And then an 86-win year last year in their first postseason since 2015. They made some trades. They added to their bullpen. As Capra swing and a miss, Bubic strikes out his 6th, 1 away in the 4th. That'll give us a chance to hear a quick word from Gruber Law Offices.
When you've been injured, you need a winning team on your side. Call Gruber Law Offices, a proud partner of your Milwaukee Brewers. One call, that's all.
Here's Garrett Mitchell. 1 away in the 4th. Brewers have had some traffic the last 2 innings. Stranded them loaded in the 2nd. Left 2 on last inning. Chris Bubic slings one in, and a strike to Mitchell. 1-1 the count.
Yeah, a lot of lefties that the Brewers have been facing early on this year. Very heavy left-handed they are in the lineup. 4 of them today. They've got 2 more on the bench. That's where the loss of Blake Perkins hurts you a little bit.
Back doing baseball activities, Perkins. Switch hitter, talented.
Fracture in his leg.
Outfielder, yeah, early in spring. Brewers have Caleb Durbin and Andrew Monasterio down in the minor leagues right now. Durbin homered the other day, by the way. He was the kid the Brewers got in the trade with the Yankees.
Yeah, Brewers really liked Durbin, but he had options. That's why he got sent down.
And options in baseball terms means you can send players from the majors to the minors as many times as you want, as long as that player is at the level in his experience that has options. For example, Vinny Capra does not. So if you tried to send him back to the minors, you'd have to expose him to every other team. It's a protection for the players.
Right.
To know so many years you run out of options is the phrase.
And Durbin was in that Devin Williams deal.
And that's why it is a key window of time here for that guy. Vinny Capra hoping to take advantage of it. Swing and a miss. Bubic strikes out Mitchell. And back-to-back Ks. 7 strikeouts now for Bubic.
Something about that delivery. He's hiding the baseball well, because that pitch pretty much down the middle. Looks like a cutter. Swings right through it.
Two gone. Here is Joey Ortiz.
You see the way he throws that arm behind his back before he comes to home plate. And making it a little bit difficult, I guess, for these Brewer hitters to pick it up. But he's not throwing hard and getting a lot of the plate, and he's getting swings and misses.
He was great out of the bullpen last year for the Royals, Bubic. It's a funky delivery. Tommy John surgery, came back, had some time on the injured list last year coming back from that surgery. He went into the bullpen. He was excellent for them. His strikeout to walk ratio in the bullpen after he returned to the big leagues was nearly 8-1. Ortiz pops it up, and this is going to be a 1-2-3 inning for Chris Bubich. 7 Ks through 4, has a 0 on the board, and the Royals lead it 4-0. In comes Brian Hudson from Milwaukee. Milwaukee Brewers baseball on FanDuel Sports Network is brought to you by Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Your win is waiting. By Habish, & Rotier, personal injury attorneys, national reputation, hometown service. And opening week presented by PNC Bank, brilliantly boring since 1865. New alley down the left field line, food truck alley. Some of the changes and amenities here at American Family Field.
Something for everybody to eat and drink in this ballpark. Lowe's level down the right field line, the craft beer area.
Gruber Law Offices, one call, that's all, call to the pen. Brian Hudson takes over for Elvin Rodriguez. Rodriguez 4 innings, 4 runs. Last 2 scoreless, though. Needed that. And did that hit him? It did it. Bobby Witt's looking back. And it is. Waiting on the bat boy. So a hit batter to start Brian Hudson's home schedule.
Yeah, it looked like a breaking pitch that got away from him. It's got him on the instep. That's not going to hurt him too bad. Maybe it'll slow him down on the bases a bit.
I doubt it. Rodriguez checking his day today. Settled in. Only gave up 2 hits the last 3 innings. One of those was a homer, but you got to give him a pass. Being thrust into not only a spot start, but a start on the home opener. That is a lot to deal with. And he was able to give the Brewers 4 innings when they were hoping for 3.
Yep, that infield hit by Bobby Witt Jr. in that first inning didn't help. A little swinging bunt.
Now hoping his offense can take him off the hook here.
Yeah, Hudson with a terrific season a year ago. 173 earned run average, 43 appearances. A 6-1 record. Made his season debut on opening day at Yankee Stadium. Scoreless appearance.
Hudson delivers, and that one misses. Well, it looked like a pretty good pitch.
We've seen a lot of those. A lot of really good pitches being called out of the strike zone today.
1 ball, 1 strike to count. Brennan Miller is the home plate umpire. 2-1.
I just wonder when you see pitches like that being called strikes, if baseball has mandated that these umpires make these guys throw the ball over the plate. There's been about 3 or 4 of those that have been called balls.
Three and 1 to count. Hudson, a big part of the very successful Brewers bullpen a year ago. Tall, rangy left-hander. And right off the end of the bat. It feels like a nightmare for left-handed hitters, Rock. There's not a lot to zero in on. A lot of elbows and knees, and tough to pick up where the ball is coming out of his hand.
And a tough arm angle, too. He's big and tall. By the time he gets rid of it, he's pretty close to home plate. Those long strides.
He was a workhorse in the first half last year. Multi-inning pitcher often. 15 times a year ago he pitched at least 2 innings. And that's actually when he was at his best. In his multi-inning outings, his ERA was 0.28. He gave up just 1 earned run in over 30 innings. And a punch out here on Pasquantino.
There you go. Got the edge that time. Right on the outside corner. Good pitch. See that arm angle for a lefty. It looks like the ball's coming right from behind him. Able to catch the outside corner.
One away, runner at first. Here is Salvador Perez. 9-time All-Star. Going to go down as one of the great Royals. Runner goes, Witt, and Contreras lost the exchange. That'll be a stolen base for Bobby Witt.
Yeah, not sure if he had a chance to get him anyway. Read his move pretty well. He saw a move or two. Picks that leg up. He takes off. That high leg kick's the giveaway.
Second stolen base of the year for Witt.
That's what happens. The catcher tries to be too quick because of the good jump and drops it.
Witt stole 31 bases last year. Had 49 steals the year prior. Now in his 4th season in the majors. Breakout year last year for Bobby Witt. Won the Gold Glove. Finished second in the MVP voting. Aaron Judge ran away with the MVP. Silver Slugger Award winner as well. And Perez draws a walk. So a hit batter, a strikeout, and a walk. And 2 men are on with 1 out. And here comes Chris Hook. That'll give us a chance to hear a quick message from Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Brewers in the danger zone right now, down 4-0. Can ill afford to give up any more. And Chris Hook talking with Brian Hudson about a shaky start here. The man's just a little off.
He's had some control issues at Yankee Stadium. Walked a couple of guys.
Did have a strikeout in that inning. Pitched a scoreless 6th inning on opening day, Thursday. Had his first outing since. He's got a lefty here in Michael Massey. Matt Quintreros splitting his lefties through this part of the batting order. Goes left, right, left, right, left. From positions 2 down to 7. Which makes this the window for Brian Hudson. A ball, no strikes, 2 men aboard.
Seems to be something a little bit off of his delivery. The first couple of appearances this year. He was a strike throwing machine a year ago.
Got a call there. 2-1. Hudson not necessarily a ground ball pitcher. Only 2 double plays induced last season. But he could use one right here with Massey. Massey's got some thump in his bat. As we saw with that opposite field double, that ground rule double over the head of Yelich. Plated the first run in the first inning.
Yeah, let's see if we can get him to roll over on one. Turn 2. He likes to go to left. He's done it twice today.
Three and 1. Massey takes a strike. Generous call in there as well. Hunter Renfroe due next. Hudson's thrown 18 pitches. Royals have swung the bat once. They swing it here and it's a foul ball. Count is full. Got him. Hudson burns off the edge. A strikeout, his second K, and a big one there. 2 outs in the 5th.
Yeah, strike zone opened up a little bit that time. Second time he was able to dot the I on the outside corner. You can See the way Contreras holds it, making it look even better. And Brendan Miller, the home plate umpire, rings him up.
Watch the first one here with Hunter Renfroe. Renfroe has dropped about 20 pounds from his Brewers days. Renfroe in his second year. He's at the end of his contract with Kansas City. Witt takes off and Contreras lets him run. He got a huge jump. 2 steals this inning for Bobby Witt Jr.
Yeah, Contreras was hoping that Perez would take off behind him. That's where he was going to throw the baseball. Nothing doing. Perez stayed right there. Go ahead, I'm staying here.
First and third, and in there for a strike. 2-1 to count. Renfroe in his 10th year in the big leagues. His year in Milwaukee was 2022. Had 29 homers that year as a Brewer. 3-1, half swing, and Elaski did not. And it's a walk, and now another left-handed batter coming up.
Looks like Hudson's really trying to work the edges, and when he's not right on those edges, he's going to miss off the plate. Doesn't want to get too much of the plate. A couple of walks in the inning. Already 4 walks for Hudson in his first 2 appearances.
2 walks and a hit batter this inning. But he does have the matchup he wants with a lefty. Dangerous moment in the game for Milwaukee here. Bases loaded, 2 outs. MJ Melendez, who has struck out twice. The 1-0 in there. Good pitch. Biggest hole in the Royals roster right now is their outfielders. They were aggressive on the free agent market, but they couldn't land a couple of the big free agents that were out there, namely Anthony Santander ended up signing with Toronto.
Yeah, Profar was on their radar screen. Couldn't get him either.
They have prospects coming, but not quite ready. Swing and a miss. Hudson with a fastball. Puts it right on the outside corner again. There's only been 3 swings by the Royals off Hudson in his 29 pitches. Bases loaded, 2 outs. 2-2 the count. Could be the pitch of the game right here. Hudson deals, popped him up. Nicely done. Contreras will put it away, and that's the inning. Hudson flirting with disaster. A hit batter and 2 more walks. He strands them loaded. It's still 4-0 Kansas City. Royals lead 4-0 as we head to the bottom of the 5th. Rock, you know how we were talking about contact percentage this offseason?
Yep.
When we had our weekly calls? It's brought to you by PNC Bank, and there's Bryce Terang. Highest contact percentage since 2024. He is top 4 on that list. Serious batsman on that list, and a rise batting champion, and Nico Horner and Alex Bregman.
Was that conference call on Christmas Eve?
Every Monday, Rock
we were talking about contact percentage.
Get together on in the off season just to go through some of the deeper analytics,
just to make sure that we're on the same page and all this stuff.
I always look forward to those. We're grinders. Grinders grind.
Yeah.
The 1-1. 1-2 the count. Bubic thus far, he's been in a little bit of trouble, but pitched out of it. Stranded the bases loaded in the second. Brewers had 2 on with 2 outs in the third and got out of that inning.
He's used a strikeout to get out of the mess. 7 of them.
Here's a 1-2 to Terang, and a little soft liner down. Contact percentage. Mark it down. Terang with a leadoff single.
And leadoff hitter aboard for the first time from Milwaukee. Who cares about exit velocity?
Contact percentage, right?
How many hits? Right off the end of the bat, he's able to stay on it. That was a breaking pitch. Nice level swing. Not over swinging, and you have really good speed on the bases.
Brewers need to pop one here. Get this crowd going. Top of the order. Here's Jackson Chourio. Ooh, big swing by Chourio.
Chourio's had some good pitches to hit today. This seems to be swinging right through him.
You do wonder with Chourio. Just turned 21. Trying to answer what was a brilliant rookie season. 21 homers, 79 RBIs. And he comes into this year with heavy expectations. He finished 3rd in the Rookie of the Year voting last year. First rookie in franchise history to produce a 2020 season. Had 22 steals with those 21 homers. And he was clutch as well. Delivered in the postseason. Home run Powerball leaderboard. The 3 that had the 20 homer seasons in Hoskins, Contreras, and Chourio.
And did a lot to make up with the loss of Christian Yelich in the second half.
Chourio is down again. 3 strikeouts today for Chourio. After a 5 strikeout opening day last Thursday in New York.
He came back on Saturday after that game and had a couple of hits. Again, he's had some pitches to hit, some fastballs that have gotten plenty of the plate, but they're just coming up empty.
Here is Yelich now. Terang at first. One of the issues the Brewers are having right now with their struggles on the mound to start games and getting down, giving up these huge multi-run innings early, it takes you out of what makes the Brewers successful.
Running game.
Their aggressive nature on the base paths, the ability to put different plays on with speed on the bases, to go first to third, to take those chances and put the pressure on the defense.
Yeah. When you're down 4-0 in the 5th, you don't be making outs on the bases. Can't take the risk.
Got to play a different style of baseball. You need more of what the Brewers were famous for a number of years, and that's hitting the long ball. Not necessarily what they do. But the long ball is how you fight your way into games like this. The 1-1. That's a foul tip. That'll be strike 2, 1-2 the count.
It's got to be that Bubic is really hiding the baseball pretty well. I mean, we don't see a whole lot of him, but the way the Brewers are really having a difficult time with a fairly straight fastball that's pretty much down the middle, and leads you to believe that he's hiding it. The Brewers aren't picking it up.
1-2 to Yelich. Fly ball lazy into left, and Melendez is there for out number 2. Back to first goes Terang after that leadoff single. Elvis Peguero will be the next hurler after Brian Hudson puts up a 0.
Elvis is off to a good start.
Here's Contreras. 0 for 2, 2 Ks against Bubic. Broken bat. Recovers. And the inning is over. And a leadoff single goes for naught. Bubic 5 scoreless innings with 8 punch-outs. He's on his game. Brewers trail 4-0. And here comes Elvis. Milwaukee Brewers baseball on FanDuel Sports Network. is presented by Northwestern Mutual. Batter up to a better way to money today at northwesternmutual.com. And by your Wisconsin Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places. Sellout opening day here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Brewers 0-3 on the season after getting swept in New York. And down 4-0 to Kansas City. As we go to the 6th inning, and Rock, it'll be Elvis Peguero with his home debut.
Yeah, sinker slider for Elvis. Gets a lot of ground balls. He can keep the ball in the ballpark. Only 4 allowed a year ago. Earned run average under 3 last year. Elvis made his season debut on Saturday against the Yankees. Tossed 2 scoreless innings. Actually gave up 2 runs. No earned runs for Peguero in that appearance.
He'll face Mark Canha, and then Michael Garcia down at the bottom of the order, then back to the top, and Jonathan India. Mark Canha's 0 for 2, couple of pop-ups. Getting to start at first today. Canha will probably see more time in the outfield than first base. Vinny Pasquantino, dealing with a tight hamstring, will be the everyday first baseman.
Canha spent almost the entire spring with the Brewers in spring training. Got traded right at the end.
Royals were hunting for a veteran right-handed bat, and Canha really wasn't going to have a spot with the Brewers. That first base DH window for Kansas City between Perez and Pasquantino, won't be many at-bats in that spot. Kansas City has an excellent pitching staff.
Yeah, their bullpen is good. They got off to a bit of a slow start a year ago, but as the season went on, got better. They added to that bullpen.
They signed Carlos Estevez, who was a dominant closer with the Angels. He was then traded to Philadelphia, signed as a free agent with the Royals. So they've added a major weapon in the back of the bullpen. Signed him to a 2-year, $22 million deal to close it out. Remember Lucas Erceg, former position player with the Brewers, now one of the premium relievers in the game. He'll be in a setup role. He did a nice job closing games at times as well for Kansas City. As Canha hit by a pitch. That happens a lot. Canha is aboard.
Yeah, it doesn't give an inch. That breaking ball that didn't break. Slider. A cement mixer. Got him on the back of the elbow. That's our first cement mixer of the year.
Never gets old.
You get it, right?
I actually saw a cement mixer driving to the ballpark today and immediately thought of you.
Were you behind it?
I was. Said, you know, that does look like one of those backup breaking balls.
Yeah, it does a lot of spinning, but it doesn't move.
Brock's right. What? Michael Garcia homered in the 2nd inning. PNC Bank slow moment.
2-1 pitch.
No doubt.
Right down the middle.
Banged it off the batter's eye. Made it 4-0 Kansas City. Garcia with his 2nd home run in his first ever start as a center fielder. Now Potrero is out with Brennan Miller. And are we questioning the count? I'm not sure. It's 1-1.
Yeah,
Pitch clock.
The count is right.
This has to be a pitch clock situation, I think.
Something about a timeout if you can read some lips. I'm not very good at it, but I did get that.
Garcia was complaining that Elvis Peguero was not making eye contact. Alert to the batter, they call it. Crew chief Chris Conroy coming down from first base. And now the umpires will gather and talk it over here. He's trying to read lips there.
Yeah,
Brendan Miller said when the batter stepped out of the box, pitch clock was getting late, then I couldn't follow the rest of that. But I think this has to do with whether to assign a strike or a ball, which affects the count.
Early on, I guess I read some lips that seemed as though they were talking about timeout. You do get one timeout.
All right, now the crew chief will give the explanation to Q, the Royals manager. We have implemented a public address system with the umpires. This would be a great opportunity to get on the PA and explain this. So yeah, he gave him. Did he give him the timeout, or did he pin a strike on him?
Well, he stepped out.
Question. Remember, batters only get one timeout, so if you step out and you're given a timeout and he didn't want it, he's thinking it's going to be a pitch clock violation,
which is a strike.
I don't think we're going to get an explanation here, though. But this would be the perfect time to just pop on the mic real quick and explain it.
Right.
That'll be another day. So we'll just be left to guess, and the count is 1-1. And I believe Garcia has used his timeout.
Yeah, no strike was called.
We can only be left to assume, and you know what happens when you assume.
Yeah, baseball's got to do a better job of explaining things like that, particularly something that takes that long to figure out.
Yeah, it would be a quick announcement, and that process is in place. They're gonna get to that point eventually. Umpires have agreed to start to do that, and
every other sport's doing it.
We just want to get it right instead of guessing. We gave you our best effort, though. Feels like a good hypothesis. What happened?
A lot of pontificating.
2-2 the count. And popped him up. Should stay playable. Over is Terang, and he's got it. First out of the inning. Timeouts used to be used liberally. Used to take as many as you needed, but they're gold right now for hitters. You only get one.
Yeah.
So a lot of hitters wait to use them until they get to 2 strikes. So you can understand how it would kind of change the at-bat for Garcia if he knew he didn't have a timeout. There's a strike to India.
A lot to think about.
Some batters I've talked to hitters about this. They said, you know, we'll just shut off the brain knowing we're going to use that timeout just to give a mental reset. I can understand that too. Knowing we're going to call it or ask for it. And when you have just one, you've got to use them judiciously.
India just took one.
That's his one timeout. Most guys do it with 2 strikes. Collect your thoughts. The 0-2 pitch. 1-2 now.
And when after with the same pitch, this time India took it.
Liner to left, a base hit. India's got another hit. Both have come with 2 strikes. And now the Royals with first and second, 1 out. 4 big boys coming up.
Yeah, 4 straight sliders. That time India was able to zero in on it, hit it hard. Didn't have a whole lot of break on it. It looked as though India was waiting for it and able to hook it into left field.
That's a good piece of hitting there, isn't it?
Yeah.
The way he just drops, bends the knees, and drops his whole body into the swing plane.
Levels that swing out.
He's got 2 hits today, India. their new leadoff hitter. Another mound visit for Chris Hook. Gives us a chance to hear a quick word from Aurora Healthcare.
This is how it feels to have a complete health partner who cares for all of you so you can live powerfully, live joyfully, and live fully.
Again, the Brewers walking a tightrope here, knowing they cannot allow any more runs. They have any hopes of coming back. Royals scored all 4 of their runs in the first 2 innings. But the danger zone has arrived again. Bobby Witt Jr. Pasquantino is next. Almost impossible to double up this guy. He can fly. He's got an infield hit. He was hit by a pitch and stole 2 bases. And a swing and a miss.
Another slider. Yeah, that 2-seamer, that's his ground ball pitch. That's the pitch he uses to get the double play. But as you mentioned, this guy's tough to double up.
Left field shallow off the end of the bat, and Yelich is there. Big out for Peguero. Out number 2 here in the 6th inning.
That was 5 straight sliders.
Seems like that would be taxing on the elbow, but early in the season, let it rip. Now Pasquantino 0 for 3. Canna and India aboard. Pasquantino has become a fan favorite. They've got the Pasquatch in Kansas City. Big part of their future. Liner center field. Mitchell on the run. He's got it. And Elvis Peguero gets out of it. 2 big bats to retire with 2 on. Royals still lead 4-0. See if the Brewers can punch one across the pay station.
Brewers home opener, Milwaukee trailing 4-0 here in the 6th inning, and Milwaukee Brewers players are committed to the community. The goal is 100% player giving in areas such as health, education, recreation, and basic needs. The partnership with BCF and our fans serves as a catalyst for good.
Thank you, Sophia. Here we go to inning number 6, bottom of the 6th. Rhys Hoskins, Sal Frelick, Vinny Capra. Sounds like a rally. Chris Bubic has been excellent today. Brewers in their home opener in front of a sellout crowd.
It's basically two pitches, right? I mean, fastball, sweeper.
8 Ks in 5 innings. Gave up a leadoff single last inning to Terang and then retired the next 3. He's retired 7 of 8. And Bobby Witt Jr. makes the play to make it 8 of 9. Hoskins is 0 for 2 with a walk. Soft contact has been the story.
Staying off the barrel, right? That's the idea. That's what pitchers try to accomplish.
Activity in that Kansas City bullpen. Pitch count's in pretty good shape, though, for Bubic at 86 as he works here in the 6th.
Could be his last inning. Bullpen for Kansas City has been good.
Average exit velocity today for the Brewers on Bubic, 76 miles an hour. From the desk of Dom Catronio to give you an idea of the weak contact. He is avoiding the barrel of the bat. It's the name of the game on the mound.
Dom's looking good today. He's got the sport coat on.
Suited up.
Got the tie. He got the memo. Got a knot up on opening day.
Rocking his Allen Edmonds fancy shoes.
The Brewers shoes. I mean,
by the way, did you catch Dom's Brewers TV debut? He did the the minor league, what was the name of the game? Spring breakout game. That's it. I was going to say Rising Stars, but that's another sport.
We did the regular game. We did the regular game that day.
Yeah.
On FanDuel, then Dom took over.
Dom took over. And killed it. It was amazing. Frelick pops up. He's not just a pretty face, Rock. You know, he's a accomplished play-by-play man. Even though he's taking all those angry phone calls after every game, fighting off the masses.
Yeah, I know.
He went on a little rant the other day. Did you hear that one?
I did not hear. No.
I think it was day 2 and Dom snapped.
I was in New York. I didn't
snap
catch
quick. It's okay.
I didn't get the app.
There's only so much you can endure, you know. Be careful. You better come with facts when you're dealing with Dom Catronio.
He will yell at you.
What a great crew. Renee's back this year 29 for Renee. She was 6 years old when she started this job. I didn't even think they let him work that young, but
she got a work permit. Yeah. This group has been together a long, long time. I mean, this TV crew. Yeah.
And you're our leader. Our Yoda. Bill Schroeder.
You let me think that every now and again.
31 years. Who'd have thunk it?
There are folks that have worked on this crew a lot longer than that.
It's true. Got a great crew.
Yeah.
Lifers. There's Andy.
36 years for Andy.
36. Man. You don't look a day over 70. There's Dwayne.
1980, his first year.
Is that right? 1980?
Yeah.
Shot back up the middle. Takes a big hop right to Massey. Close play, but Bubic retires the side in order. That'll probably be the last of Bubic. 6 shutout innings. Impressive first start. 4-0 Kansas City as we go to the 7th. Toyota game reset. Royals come out of the gates, ruin the party quick. Hunter Renfroe with a 2 RBI single, capped off a 3-run first. Chris Bubic has been excellent. 6 scoreless innings against the Brew Crew. Just finished a 3-up, 3-down 6 innings. And Brian Sweeney, one of the great young pitching coaches in the game. Pitching coach with the Royals. And a lot to like with this Royals pitching staff. They've added to it. Perez takes a ball. Ball and a strike on Big Sal. Elvis Peguero back out for a 2nd inning, trying to keep it at 4. Perez has had an amazing run of defensive excellence aside of what he does at the plate. Won 5 Gold Gloves. His last Gold Glove came in 2018. That was that all-star run he had. At age 31, though, a few years back, he hit 48 homers. Everybody thought he was kind of winding down. He missed all of 2019, had a major knee surgery. And you're just thinking, well, big body, all those years catching, and been to the World Series a couple of times. And I think a lot of us were writing him off about what kind of player he could be, and then he responded with a 48 homer, 121 RBI season.
Yeah, which is not easy in their ballpark. That's a big ballpark. I mean, you got to hit him pretty well.
He led the majors in both categories that year, and so since then, Rock, he's hit 23 homers twice, and he hit 27 last year, drove in over 100.
This is his 14th season.
Drives out into left. That is hooking. That is going to be a fair ball home run. First of the year for Sal Perez. And it's 5-0 Kansas City. Man can flat out hit.
Man got a fastball in on him, pulled the hands in, and just was able to tuck it inside the foul pole. Yeah, that was a slider, actually. My mistake, not a fastball. Pulled the hands in, stayed close to the body, the barrel of the bat on the baseball, and he's done that a few times. That's how you keep it fair.
Good hands replay brought to you by Allstate.
Hands lead the barrel of the bat. That's how you keep it fair and not hook it foul.
Former World Series MVP right there. And a soft liner to right is down for Massey, his second hit. Pat Murphy and Chris Hook in the unenviable position to try to count outs and innings and try to get through games without putting so much pressure on their offense. That just has not been the case in the last 4 games.
And it's awfully hard to be playing from behind every day. Every at bat, hitters are feeling a lot more pressure. They're down 3-0 in the first inning, and it makes it tough.
Brewers gave up 36 runs in the 3-game series in New York. A 20 spot on Friday or Saturday, I beg your pardon, and then 12 more runs yesterday. Tough start to the year. Aaron Savali, who started yesterday, Savali placed on the injured list, as Sophia reported prior to the game, hamstring tightness. So the ranks were thin, and they just got thinner. Brendan Miller catching it from the Brewers dugout, and now he ejects Ricky Weeks. Ricky Weeks has seen enough.
Now this is all about the strike zone. We were talking about it most of the day. Very tight at times, liberal at other times, and Ricky's showing some of the frustration in that dugout.
Weeks ejected. Ricky Weeks, one of the fiercest competitors that's ever put on that uniform, but he rarely loses control. He rarely speaks out like that. So to hit that trigger, I think it was the way Miller snatched that mask off and was telling him to quiet down. That's all it took. And now Weeks ejected from this game.
Check it out. This is the pitch they're talking about. We've seen a lot of those today. Very close on a 2-strike pitch, and that's it. Umpire's always going to win.
Fly ball to center field, and Renfroe to Mitchell for the first out.
Sometimes a coach has got to do something to fire the guys up. I think that's what that was all about.
Brad Anderson, just added to the roster today, took the spot of Savali, loosening in the bullpen. Ricky Weeks serving as what we would know of as the bench coach for years in baseball. It was a newer title, though, one we haven't heard, associate manager.
Yeah.
And you see that in other sports, especially basketball.
Pretty much
associate head coaches.
Pretty much as soon as Pat Murphy got the job. I think they were announced at the same time.
By request of Pat Murphy. So he wanted a guy like Ricky Weeks on his staff. He looked at his staff and a lot of grinder coaches, overachievers. He said, I need somebody who's been a star, been an all-star, knows what being a frontline player is like and how to help navigate the game from that perspective as well.
And
it's been a great addition.
The guy that's tough as nails, not just physically, but mentally as well.
Line shot, base hit. Melendez singles back up the middle. Station to station go the Royals. And it's first and second here in the 7th.
Another
there are 2 outs.
Double-digit attack against the Brewer pitching staff today.
Beg your pardon, 1 out. And now Mark Canha. Yeah, 10 hits for the Royals. Pitching staff has taken a beating to start the year. Canha 0 for 2. He was hit by pitches last time. Two and 0. That's a strike. Cardinals out to a fast start in the division. They've won their first 3 games. They've been scoring a lot of runs as well. We've got the Angels today at home. Reds 1 and 2. Cubs dropped the first 2 in Japan against the Dodgers. So they've already played 6 games. They're 2 and 4 to start the year. Pirates 1 and 3. Brewers still looking for their first win. And Canha draws a walk. Bases are loaded. And Pat Murphy's on his way out. Pitching change coming. Figueroa, who posted a scoreless 6th early in the season, got to mind that pitch count, and Murphy going to the bullpen earlier than he wants for Figueroa.
Hey, shoot up this season at MLBshop.com. Check out the largest selection of authentic jerseys, caps, hoodies, T-shirts, and more. Visit MLBshop.com, the official source for your Brewers gear.
Brewers digging deep in their bullpen right now. It's 5-0 Kansas City. Grant Anderson, who pitched just 1 game in AAA on the 28th of March, is now in the big leagues. Just got here on a transaction. Brewers put Aaron Savali on the injured list, and Anderson steps into a hot spot with the bases loaded and 1 out. Michael Garcia, who is homered today, you know he's looking to do some damage.
Fastball, sinker, slider for Grant Anderson. That called up today. 6 different times he was with the Texas Rangers last year. Up and down a ton.
He's with the Mariners in spring training a year ago. And he parlayed that into a run to the big leagues. Never a prospect, side armor. Got a twin brother. Anderson in a 3-1 hitters count, and that is ball 4, and it's a bases loaded walk. Royals are going to add 1 more. 6-0. Tough spot for Anderson to come into. Get called back up faster than you thought you would. And now you step into a spot with the bases loaded in the home opener.
Yeah.
And the Brewers they're in a bad spot with their pitching staff right now. Top of the order. Here is India.
And not much Pat Murphy can do about it.
Liner to left, base hit. One run is in. Melendez. Canna on his way will score. And the Royals have opened it up. 8-0 now. India 2 RBI single. His third hit of the day.
That slider. Looked like they didn't do a whole lot. Jammed him a bit, but able to elevate it in the left and 2 runs in.
Here's Bobby Witt Jr. You may get 1 or 2 games a month, like what we've seen in 3 of the first 4 games of the season.
Yeah.
ERA busters. One and 2.
They just got to grind it out. It's going to end at some point.
Well, the good news is there's a long season ahead.
Yep, game 4 of 162.
And reinforcements coming.
A lot of time to recover.
Base hit to right. Bobby Witt Jr. with an RBI single. And another run is in to make it 9-0. 2-strike RBI hit for Witt. It's his second hit. He's got 2 steals today as well. Kansas City has come on and taken the life out of American Family Field.
A lot of crooked numbers on the Brewers pitching staff this year. A lot of innings with crooked numbers.
Pasquantino pulls one foul. Royals have Michael Lorenzen scheduled to pitch tomorrow. The Brewers are going to be back in a bullpen game tomorrow. Could see an opener tomorrow. Already fighting the uphill battle with innings and rest and trying to figure out how to get through games right now with so many pitchers out.
And Trevor McGill's only been able to come into a game once and retired 1 batter against the Yankees. That was yesterday. So your A bullpen really hasn't been much of a factor because they've been behind so much. Except for the game in New York on Thursday.
Brewers will have an off day after the conclusion of this homestand to give them a quick reset. That'll be prior to the Rockies series. They go on the road against Colorado on April 8th. They'll have the Royals and Reds here on this opening homestand. Takes you through Sunday. Next homestand for the Brewers will be April 14th. Tigers and the A's. A lot of American League teams on the schedule early. Ground ball knocked down. Nice play. Hoskins throws to the plate, off the mark. Run is in. On his way to third now is Witt, and he's in there. So a run scores. Hoskins makes an excellent play.
The heck of a play, but an ill-advised throw.
It'll be an E3 that allowed Witt to go to third base.
Yeah, good reflexes by Rhys Hoskins. Bad throw. No chance really for Contreras. And not only does another run score, it's 10-0. Runner is able to get to third base.
Run was going to score anyway, it looked like. And now Sal Perez center field and run down to end the inning. It was a mess, though. Royals bat around and put a 6 spot on the board. It's 10-0 Kansas City. Now enjoy American Fields, Family Fields presentation of God Bless America on this opening day.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, please stand for God Bless America, performed today by Allison Mahal and Van Isaacson.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with light from above, from the mountains to the valleys, to the ocean, wide with foam. God bless America, my home sweet home. God bless America, my home sweet home.
Well, that one is a mess. 10-0. Royals just put 6 on the board. Statcast powered by Google Cloud. And Bubic with his 8 strikeouts today. 4 with the fastball, 3 with the sweeper. Had the one with a slider, but living upstairs in the strike zone. And he pitched to Jim today. His offense gave him a lot of support. He went 6 scoreless. And it'll be Angel Serpa out of the Kansas City bullpen, Ron.
Yeah, gave up a home run on opening day against the Cleveland Guardians. Yeah, set career highs last year in games, innings pitched, and strikeouts. Pitched in 5 of the 6 postseason games for Kansas City a year ago.
Isaac Collins getting a pinch hit appearance for Milwaukee.
You saw where those pitches were for the strikeouts for Bubic. Every one of them in the zone.
Right. Upstairs in the zone.
Yeah,
too.
getting a lot of the plate. Something about that delivery.
Serpa has a good fastball. It's got movement, too. Mid to upper 90s with sink to it. Slider misses low. Collins hits for Garrett Mitchell. First at bat of the day for Collins. And the Brewers dealing with another lopsided game here. Line shot into left field. That's going to go to the wall. Isaac Collins on his way to second with a pinch hit double.
Man, that's some nice loud contact. We haven't seen that much today. You get Bubic out of the game, you get the bullpen going, and Isaac Collins able to rattle one off the wall down there in left. A bullet. Boy, pulled the hands in and able to keep that ball fair down the line in left, and a leadoff double. Give him something to think about.
Third game for Collins, all coming off the bench. He's on an opening day roster for the first time in his career, and he's got his first hit. Joey Ortiz now. Infield hit back in the second. He's 1 for 2. Brewers thought they got a good piece in the Corbin Burns deal. They weren't quite sure what kind of hitter Ortiz would be. They knew they were getting a great defender. And you remember this time last year, Ortiz was in a bit of a platoon role. Third base hadn't been settled yet. But by the end of the season, Joey Ortiz was the everyday third baseman. Takes a called strike 3. And there is out number 1. Serpa's first K.
Yeah, right on the corner.
Brings up Terang, and a tough matchup for a left-handed hitter. Tough shadows right now as the sun sets through that window panel up above the first base grandstand. 0-2 on Terang. Can be a challenge for a hitter right now. It's like a strobe effect coming in.
That batter's eye in the shade. The ball comes out of the shade into the sun.
Night game tomorrow. First night game.
I think everybody's excited about a night game.
And then an afternoon affair on Wednesday. That's a noon airtime. 12:10 first pitch. 11:30 is airtime here on FanDuel Sports Network. And then the Reds are here Thursday. 3 night games in that series. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. A day game for the getaway day. Sunday. Are you one of those guys who like pours through the schedule and looks at the inflection points and
tough stretches in the schedule, long road trips?
It's so dependent on what the health of your team is at that time, and the Brewers start the season with all this anticipation and a division championship to defend, and they're probably at their worst right now from a health perspective with the pitching staff.
Yeah. Position players are relatively healthy.
That hit the shin of Serpa. That hurt him. And Terang is out. Nice play by Massey. Hung in there with it. Made a good, strong throw. Brewers will take a look at this replay just in case.
Yeah, tough break.
And Serpa is hurting on the back of that mound. Put out officially goes 1-4-3. Ortiz over to third. I beg your pardon. Collins over to third base.
A good example of what Bryce Terang, the adjustments he's been able to make from 2 years ago against lefties. That one got him right on the calf, just above that ankle. Ricochet able to get him at first base, but he really hangs in there against lefties.
I usually say hit the bull.
They really got to be careful with these leg injuries. The guy's going to make adjustments to his delivery, and all of a sudden your arm starts to bother you. They're going to stick with him.
Has done enough to prove he could stay. I'm sure that first one that went to the backstop wasn't the most encouraging.
He probably said, hey, let me throw one more.
And how many people around here said just a bit outside?
Yeah, right. Yes, sir.
Here's Churio. Been one of those days for Churio. 0 for 3, 3 Ks. The 0-1. Good block back there by Sal. Powder Blues are back, Rock.
Yeah, love them.
I've started to see, you know, it started with just powder blue jersey tops. I think the Royals were the first to do that. In the next wave of the powder blues, Rangers went to the powder blue unis. That ball's driven to right center, and it's over the head of Garcia. To the wall it goes. RBI double for Churio. And the Brewers are finally on the board.
Yep, skunk out of the box here in the 7th. Doing what he does best, taking it to the opposite field. Looks like a changeup, right? Changeup up and away, goes right with it. That play brought to you by Freighter and the Medical College of Wisconsin. A RBI double by the kid, Jackson Churio. Barreled it.
And now it's Yelich. Brewers finally score their first run at American Family Field in 2025. And who else would drive in that run but Churio? You've got the Robin Yount version of the kid, and now you have the Jackson Churio version. They both apply. Saw Daniel Lynch in that Kansas City bullpen. Chopper by Yelich. And that will retire the side. But the Brewers finally get on the board. A little something to cheer about in an otherwise forgettable day here at American Family Field. We go to the 8th. 10-1 Kansas City as we go to the 8th for every Brewers RBI this year. The Northwestern Mutual Foundation is funding 5 hours of childhood cancer research. Northwestern Mutual and the Milwaukee Brewers are proud to partner in curing childhood cancer. Churio puts him on the board for the first time. Here is Tyler Tolbert with his major league debut, just called up today. Drove all night to get here. The changes for the Brewers. Collins, after his base hit, stays in to play right, moves Frelick over to center field. Tyler Tolbert. Royals put Darren Blanco on the injured list today with an Achilles injury. Not thought to be major, but a utility man in Tyler Tolbert to take his spot and his first big league game. Congratulations.
Yeah.
He'll never forget it.
Getting an at-bat, playing some defense. Get rid of the nerves, I would imagine.
A lot of hard travels, hard years to earn a major league uniform and to get into a game. That's got to be family. I mean, they are locked in. Look, she's praying. It's so hard to watch the people you love.
Yeah.
It's for the players, they're just in it. I'm sure he's nervous, but man.
Nerve-wracking for the family, right?
It's an extraordinary accomplishment. And he buckles in. Anderson slings one in, a strikeout.
Got that slider right on the inside corner, not exactly where he wanted it. Well, he's in the book, the Baseball Encyclopedia. Do they actually have a hard copy of that anymore?
I used to love that. I haven't seen one in so long.
It's probably online.
I would just pour through that, all those names.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget, you know, my brother made his major league debut in 1993, and they were still producing that book. And then the next edition that came out. I think it was 95. First thing I did, go to the A's. And then you pass by the Aarons and all the Andersons, and there was Mike Anderson in the book.
Yep, in the book. That's what they call it. I'm in the book.
You're in the book. Hunter Renfroe here with one away. 8th inning. After the Royals batted around last inning, they've scored 10 runs on 12 hits. Brewers just scored on a Churio 2-out RBI double. Renfroe drove in with a 2-out single in the first. Matter of fact, I'm looking at Grant Anderson here wearing number 56. That was the number that my older brother had when he got called up. Only the elite get the right to wear a big league uniform. It may seem insignificant when you're in the context of a major league setting, but think about all those hard years and all that work and sacrifice, all those stops along the way to get here. Renfroe flies out, 2 outs in the inning, and we kick it down to Sophia Minner.
BA, you guys have been talking about the pitching reinforcements, and Pat Murphy spoke about that before the game. He sees it as sort of 2 tiers. There's the players that are coming back hopefully in the month of April, and that includes Tobias Myers, who threw a 2-inning bullpen yesterday, just over 30 pitches. He's going to throw another 2-inning live simulated game here on Thursday, and after that he hopes to go out on a rehab assignment. So he's trending in the right direction with his oblique injury. And then Nick Mears, he's another reliever that the Brewers were counting on here for opening day and opening week. He's been dealing with an illness going back to spring training. He's eligible to come off April 8th. He and Tobias Myers are on a similar timeline. They're hoping Aaron Savali will have a short time on the IL with a hamstring, and then Jose Quintana as well.
Need them all, Sophia. Hopefully the Brewers can figure out how to score some runs and keep the other team down in the meantime.
There's Pat Murphy, his team off to a rough start here. First 4 games of the season, they trail 10-1 here. We're at the Gruber Law Office's One Call. That's all. Sports Desk getting set for Brewers Live postgame presented by Freighter and the Medical College of Wisconsin. Just a lot of runs still on that board against Brewer pitching.
Well, I think what we're getting a glimpse at is how important momentum is in this game of baseball. The Yankees series carrying over here already into game 1 home opener. You have to go back to July of 23. Last time the Brewers lost 4 in a row. So they haven't had to face this kind of adversity. They're going to have to bounce back tomorrow.
All right, we've got our big post-game show coming up here for the home opener. The Royals obviously attacking early. The Brewers had some missed opportunities early as well. We'll hear from Pat Murphy, and then stick around for that. I mean, you know, it's been a rough start. And by the way, I want to thank everybody for those kind words in the pregame show for year number 25. That meant a lot to me. I appreciate James Stewart for putting that together edit-wise, and Stephen Watson for organizing. You guys are all the best.
Love you all. Craig, congratulations on 25 years. You're one of the signature sounds of Brewers baseball, and that was a beautiful piece. It was great to watch your reactions. I was a little disappointed, though, Craig. They left out all of your video from the Dells when you were going shirtless in the Speedo down the slides. I mean, that's what we all came to see.
Well, I tell you, this is why I don't edit, though, Brian. You know, I would have had him in there. You know that.
Tell you what, jacked as always. No shirt.
Oh, those were the days. That's being around for 25 years. That's wow.
That's your screensaver on your computer, though, isn't it? Yeah.
Now it's Vinny Rotino doing those type of shots out there with his kids. So.
No shirt down the slide with the belly cam.
Just with a 6-pack. Well, actually, 2 6-packs. One in his hand.
Always one in the hand.
See, that's the kind of laugh I used to try to get out of Craig right at the end of a segment, and then I would have to go to break.
Our old joke used to be, you know, because Craig attended every college in Wisconsin, he's a real man of the people.
I know everybody. I know all the tell. Look at that one.
Look at that.
That's Rock and I in day 1 of this ballpark back in 2001.
Man, how about that?
Man alive.
Looking good.
I don't know. I guess the color didn't chroma key over that green wall very well back then.
Power alleys were still in place, though. This is one of my favorites here, actually.
That
You
is a
guys
good
got
one.
wiped out with shaving cream.
We were on the field for that, and Richie Sexton, Jeremy Burnitz came up with a couple of shaving cream pods. Look at Craig. Craig wiped his lips off, and then he didn't miss a beat. He just kept doing the show.
Hoskin strikes out for the first out.
I was thinking about bailing out, but I said if Craig's staying, so am I.
Well, didn't you guys like milk cows at one point on the field?
I know one thing that we lost some weight sweating down there in those suits back in July and August, didn't we?
Oh my goodness! Yeah.
Especially Rock, of course, Brian. You know that.
He's a sweater.
Yeah.
Once I get one bead of sweat on the forehead, it's over.
Lynch knocks it down. That's going to be a base hit. And Sal Frelick with his first hit. So Vinny and Craig will be up for Brewers Live post-game. And even though the game's not going the way the Brewers want it, a lot to celebrate today. Certainly first day without Bob Uecker here in the ballpark after his passing. See the numbers on Daniel Lynch the fourth.
His second appearance for him. Pretty good numbers last year in limited opportunities.
Capper on the ground, chance at a double play ball, and that is the eighth. We go to the ninth. All Kansas City today. 10-1 Royals.
Hey, today's time of the game winner is the Doghouse in Fredonia. If they call the Brewers by 10 o'clock tomorrow, they get 40 tickets to a Friday night game in the Miller Lite Beer Pen. It's offered courtesy of the Tavern League of Wisconsin and Miller Lite. 414-902-4300, the number. Operators standing by.
Something we are both very familiar with, the Doghouse. Say hello to our friends at the Doghouse. That specific one and all the philosophical ones.
All the future ones that we're going to be in.
Might be in one right now, actually. Ninth inning here. Grant Anderson taking the ball back out there. Brewers desperately need him to finish this game. You don't want to have another position player pitch. They've already done that twice in the first 3 games of the year. And a liner fair, Canna just inside the bag. And he's on his way to second base. It'll be a double to start the inning. That is the 13th hit for Kansas City. Canna's got his first on base 3 times. Michael Garcia started the game in center field, his first start in center in the major leagues, now playing second base. Homered in the second inning, walked with the bases loaded in the 7th, so he's driven in 2 runs on 2 walks and a home run. Fly ball to Frelick, and Canna stays put, out number 1. How about a word from our friends at Diggers Hotline?
Hey buddy, does even your project need Diggers Hotline? There could be electrical, gas, or internet lines right under your feet. Every time you dig, Diggers Hotline.
Kevin Biggio is going to get a pinch hit appearance here. He'll hit for India. Son of the Hall of Famer, Craig Biggio.
India with a good day at the plate, 3 hits.
India's day is done. He's a nice fit here for Kansas City. Acquired from the Reds. Biggio, base hit to left. Canna will be set. Throw comes in late. And a pinch hit RBI single from Kevin Biggio makes it 11-1.
That wasn't a bad pitch. That was right on the outside corner. Sinker went right with it. 14 hits for Kansas City. Pitch up a little bit, but it was away. He went right with it. Good piece of hitting by Biggio to drive in a run.
First ball swinging. Witt, liner to center. A lot of early swings. And 2 men are out. Bobby Witt, 2 hits today, 2 steals, drove in a run, scored a run. The Bobby Witt kind of game. Three day games today in the big leagues. Boston and Baltimore in the 8th inning. Baltimore leads that one 5-3. And Philadelphia hosting Colorado. That's a good game there. 1-0 Rockies. Bottom 7. Those are the 3 day games. Everybody else is tonight. Oh, I beg your pardon. There was a day game went final. Twins and White Sox. White Sox are 500. They shut out the Twins. 9-0. Twins are 0-4. Did you want any more details on the White Sox?
I'm good.
Okay. I got it here if you need it.
Good. Well, if you want to.
2-2 on the record after what they endured last year.
Yeah, right.
Break up the Sox. Our man Walter McKinven left the Brewers staff. He's the bench coach there in Chicago now. New manager in Will Venable.
Dodgers are 5-0.
Dodgers look scary.
Padres are 4-0.
Also look scary. Who knows where this winding road will take us this year.
One thing you do know, there'll be better days ahead.
Well, I hope so.
Yeah.
Nowhere else to go at this point after
We'll get it going.
A start like this.
When you play 162 games and 0-4 start, you can recover from.
By the way, Freddie Fermin getting a pinch hit appearance. He's the backup catcher. Pasquantino's day is over. Three and 2 the count. How's your bracket looking? Your March Madness bracket?
Didn't do one. You? Are you allowed?
I didn't do it.
Are you allowed?
I think I'm allowed. I don't know. Never been told not to. I just never have done it. I mean, not never, but in the years I've called it, I've never done it. I used to have 3 or 4 going.
Who do you got winning it? Duke?
I'm gonna ride with Duke. They're all great though. The 4 1 seeds that are in it, excellent.
Yeah.
Kind of got a sentimental push for Auburn with Bruce Pearl and his Milwaukee connections, former UWM coach. That is a swing and a miss, a strikeout to end the inning, and we go to the bottom of the 9th. Last call for the Brew Crew. They're down 10. Might as well get 11. Kind of day, opening day here at American Family Field. Good news is we're set up for a summer of fun with the Milwaukee Brewers. Baseball is back. It's an 11-1 Royals lead as Isaac Collins down the left field line, hooking foul. Day to forget on the field today. Brewers pitching staff continues to scuffle. Today was a by committee day as well. Elvin Rodriguez gave up 4 earned runs in a spot start. Royals with 11 runs on 14 hits. And the Brewers just mustering the 1-run rock. That was a Churio RBI double. So some ERAs are taking a beating here in the early part of the schedule.
And Royals with 11 runs, and they've stranded 10 on the bases. There have been men on base all day for Kansas City.
Rodriguez giving up 4 earnings in 4 innings. Peguero 4 earned runs in an inning and a third. And Grant Anderson giving up 3 earned runs in 2 2/3. Those are tough to whittle back down, especially for relievers. We'll do it again tomorrow. No, back tomorrow night. Doug and Vinny will have the pregame show for you. First night game of the year tomorrow. Collins back up the middle. Flag by Garcia. Throw to first in time. Wow.
Nice play.
Special play by Michael Garcia.
Yes, sir.
Takes a hit away from Collins.
Yeah, tough part of that play, getting it out of the glove and making a good throw to first. Got to keep that balance. Keep the feet under you. Check it out. Man, what a play. Nice.
Got his first start in center field today. Garcia was the shortstop when Bobby Witt made it to the big leagues. He was so skilled at short. There was some talk that they would move Witt to the outfield, but then Bobby Witt became a superstar. And it is Garcia who has had to move around a little bit. He's not moving for a decade or more. But both of them are exceptional defenders. Oh, and to the count to Joey Ortiz.
A lot of good young talent in the big leagues these days, right? A lot of good players.
And young players come up ready to go, too, ready to contribute. I think it's part of the culture of Major League Baseball now. I think these players are around their big league teammates when they arrive in spring training, or there's just a different kind of connection. Much different back in your day. You showed up, they were trying to find a way to get rid of you.
Yeah, well, you had to earn your keep. You know, it wasn't one of those things where you came to the clubhouse and you automatically were one of the guys. You had to really establish yourself, and not the case these days. I mean, these veteran guys embrace new players, guys that come up, and I like it. I think it's great, and the Brewers organization is about as good at that as any.
Got to have it. It's the way the organization has to flow to be successful. You got to utilize your minor league system. Got to draft well, sign players well, and
can't make mistakes on player development or player decisions.
Yeah, the margins are thin. Brewers have done a great job at that. A lot of young talent with his team. Aaron Ashby and Sal Frelick, 2 of those guys. Hard hit ball right to Witt. 2 outs. 4 games in, we got a lot to go here. Kansas City the next 2 games, next 2 days here. Day game Wednesday. Hit the air at 6 o'clock tomorrow on FanDuel Sports Network. Reds are in for 4. Day off Monday, and then the 2-city road trip. Turang, the last hope for the Brewers. Brewers don't have a public pitching plan yet. I'm sure they know what they will do at this point. It's going to be another bullpen by committee day, I think. That'll be tomorrow's game against Michael Lorenzen and the Royals. And then it's a matchup of aces on Wednesday. Cole Reagans against Freddie Peralta. That is an outstanding pitching matchup.
Freddie was really good in New York.
Reagan's off to a slow start. That'll do it. Turang strikes out. 3 up, 3 down inning for Lynch. And the Royals spoil the party here at American Family Field for the home opener. 11-1 the final. Kansas City with a 3-run first and a put away 6-run 6th inning. And the Brewers drop to 0-4. Kansas City evens their season record at 2-2 after they dropped a series to Cleveland. We got a lot more coming up. Craig and Vinny standing by. Sophia down on the field. Brewers Live coming your way next, and then we'll catch all of you tomorrow night here on FanDuel Sports Network. For Bill Schroeder, Brian Anderson saying so long until tomorrow, everyone.
Well, it was a home opener, a lot of hype, a lot of fans, a lot of fun here until the game started. Unfortunately, Kansas City jumps on Milwaukee pitching early in this one. We'll talk about that. Pat Murphy, we'll hear from him. The Brewers fall to 0-4. We got Brewers Live postgame coming up.